at a swingers event. This was before I was in the industry, right? This hot guy. And he was like, hey, you want to go out to my car? I was like, oh, yeah. And he pulls down his pants. I can't wait to get out of this car. I just want to go home. This is so traumatizing. And to this day, I'm scared to death.
Addison, what's going on?
Hey, Matt, what's up?
Not much. It only took a year to get this together.
A year, I know. It's crazy.
I know.
You're a busy man.
I'm just easy. I can only slut myself out so much. Sorry. Sluts needs days to recover too.
Yeah, I understand.
It's mostly my liver that needs a little recovery, not so much my mouth.
Right.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Hope the giant can of Coca-Cola works.
I love it. My
Awesome.
favorite.
I almost decided to get you like a real treat and get a glass bottle Mexican Coke, but you specifically said can, so I was like, oh, okay, I won't.
I could have done the glass bottle too, though.
Yeah, no one ever says no to the glass bottle.
No, absolutely not. It's the best.
Yeah. In the tiers of Coca-Cola, it's like glass, can, plastic bottle, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, you got to fit the fountain soda in there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and it's always McDonald's fountain soda. The best fountain soda.
Well, yeah, the fountain soda, because the fountain soda is not perfect everywhere. Like, yes, McDonald's fountain soda good, but like you go to a different place, like, they didn't do the mix right?
Wow. McDonald's has their own mix. It's like special to them, and it's literally the best. That's what I drink in the morning. Is Coca-Cola. I don't drink coffee. That's
enough caffeine to get by?
I mean, I have more than one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a sad energy drink addict, so.
Oh, yes.
So it's like, the energy drink to get moving. Sometimes one in the afternoon. Generally, I'm 2 a day, but sometimes it's 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably not good for me.
No, I mean, I do that when I go out because I don't drink and it gets late. So I'll drink 3 or 4 Red Bulls, and I know that's not good. But you only live once, right?
Right. None of us are making it out of this alive.
No, absolutely not.
So, what's a little, random chemicals, and there's vitamins in it, right?
Sure, there's got to be something. I mean, there's water in it. That's good for us.
Right.
Okay, I'm going with that.
Made of water.
Yes.
Made.
Absolutely.
That's what science tells me. Made of water.
Yes.
How's your LA trip been so far?
It's been really, really great. Thank you.
What have you been doing with yourself?
So I had a collab yesterday with Mr. Maxwell, Mr. Isaiah Maxwell too. And then today I shot a scene, my last scene of the year. And I have one more collab tomorrow. And then I head back home for the holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought I'd just stop in and see you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you fitting me in where you could. What are you doing for the holidays? Like, once you go home?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I'm going to a friend's house on the 26th because I usually hang out with her family, and we're celebrating on the 26th. So I know we're doing a dinner the 24th. I think the 25th, I get to just stay home and hang with my dog. And then the 26th, I'll go over there in the afternoon.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No. I just go for the food.
What else would you go for Christ or something?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
You don't strike me as super religious.
I was a Sunday school teacher in high school and junior high.
Well, I'm glad you outgrew that.
Me too.
What denomination?
Baptist.
Baptist?
Yeah. They're a little more forgiving, I feel like.
Oh, I mean, isn't it all technically forgivable as long as you
Well,
repent?
it is, but I think just from the get-go, they're a little more easygoing. They're not like the Catholics, like, you can't do this and you can't do that, or you must do this. So, yeah.
I don't know why. My various Protestant education's pretty low. So
Yeah.
as a Sunday school teacher, I need you to educate me a little bit on
Oh, God. I don't know if I remember anything.
Oh, no. So, yeah, I see it was deeply ingrained in you.
Yeah, deeply.
Hopefully your students remember something, right?
I hope so.
Has anyone, jumped on social media and be like, you used to teach me Sunday school?
No, thank God. Oh, God. I wouldn't even know what to do with that.
Tell them to say some Hail Marys or something. That's
Yeah.
appropriate.
Be like, don't unfollow me now and go say a prayer.
I think you probably should just block them. If they found you.
Oh, that too. I would definitely block them.
It's like, no.
Don't cross the line.
Yeah.
There's no going back.
chances are if they're commenting on your stuff publicly, they've already crossed the line.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. Okay, well,
sorry, I didn't mean to put that in your head. They're adults now.
it's a lot to handle.
Well, unfortunate. So did you grow up very religious, or?
Not very religious. I grew up in a dairy farm in Vermont, and so I was a farm girl, which I loved. And we went to church on Sundays, and it wasn't like we were super religious or anything, but that's just what we did.
That's what the community expected of you?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
That's why I feel like gets a lot of people into church and stuff like that. It's like, well, the rest of the community's going, so
yeah,
it'd be weird for us not to go.
Right.
With the growing up on the dairy farm, did you actually do manual labor with the cattle and all that?
I did. Oh. So I did a lot of the cleaning of the calves and feeding the calves and helping do hay with the, cows. I didn't actually milk. My dad did all the milking. But yeah, I mean, I've always been happiest in a pair of cutoff shorts and barn boots covered in shit head to toe. I loved it. It's hard work, but it was fun way to grow up.
Awesome. Hopefully no one reenacts that in a scene. You don't need to be covered in shit now.
No, I don't.
No, that'd be horrible.
That would be.
Can you eat veal to this day?
Oh, I love veal. It's one of my favorites. Love it.
Same.
Yeah.
It was just but I've never actually raised a fucking calf.
Well, so the calves actually, I would help deliver calves with my bare hands. I'm all up in there come on, baby, let's go. Let's get out of here. And they go to slaughter within 2 to 3 days. So we don't keep them very long. So.
Don't even bother naming them. Just
oh no, just get them where they need to be and get them over to the slaughterhouse.
Just in, wash, out.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So I bet your fisting technique's pretty solid.
It might be. I haven't tried it on anyone, but it probably is good.
Right?
I mean, I've got some extensive experience.
Much more experience than everyone else.
I never thought of it that way. Wow. I'm going to add that to my resume.
Just
professional fister.
Professional.
Yeah. Farm grade fister.
That's the name of a scene if I've ever heard one.
Right?
Holy fucking farm grade fister. Oh, shit. So when did you end up out west?
I came out west 7 years ago. And I absolutely love it. I could not do the cold winters anymore. I had broken my back 14 years ago boating, and the arthritis and everything. I just felt like a cripple, 9 months out of the year, and it just wasn't fun. And moved out here 7 years ago and never looked back. But I actually lived in California before that. I was in the Navy for 5 years and lived in San Diego and North Island. So I was familiar with the West Coast, and I always knew I'd end up back here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Once you got out of working in San Diego, where did they deploy you? Anywhere fun?
So my first 2.5 years, I was a helicopter mechanic on H-60 Bravo helicopters. And then I went overseas to an island called Diego Garcia. And I was there during 9/11. Now, Diego Garcia is a tiny little island in the middle of the Indian Ocean owned by the British, but run by the U.S. government. And we were the strategic bombing grounds for 9/11, meaning within 24 hours, B-1s, B-52s, and stealth bombers came into our island. We put bombs on those planes went off, and they came back empty. And that is what that island does. And it was pretty amazing to finally, everything that we learned, to kind of put it into practice. Because some of the stuff you do, you're like, why do we do this? It makes no sense. When are we ever going to use this? Well, when 9/11 happened, it all made sense. And it was scary, you're so far away and this and that. But yeah. And then after Diego, I came back and I did a tour on the USS Nimitz. And then I got out after 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Never thought about going career?
No. Oh, God, no. I was in trouble every year of my career already. So I was on the way out.
Why'd you go in? Just to get away from Vermont, or?
I wanted money for college. That was my biggest thing. And I wanted to travel. And so I got to do both of those things. And this past, I think it was March, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in business after, 25 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Hell yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of that.
Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Thank you, Uncle Sam. Yes.
Well, and that's the crazy part about American society. Everyone's like, well, we need free college for all. It's like, well, that's the incentives for people to join the military. That's why it's never going to happen.
Right.
Oh, we don't have socialized healthcare because that's one of the benefits for joining the military.
Right.
They realized, drafting people's never going to be popular.
Yeah.
So they really got to try to incentivize.
Yeah. I mean, the upfront incentives are amazing, but it's sad what happens to you on the other side, especially if you had major injuries and things like that. They have not perfected that part of it. And that's sad, for the veterans and who have severe medical issues. I do not feel that they are being well taken care of in any way. And something really needs to change. Got people who done 5-6 tours and this and this and that. And they can't, they're missing an arm and a leg and they're not even getting 100% disability. Like, I don't understand.
Right.
I mean, they clearly can't really do much for work. They could be a greeter at Walmart.
Yeah, and that pays minimum wage.
Right. So, please, somebody help me understand why we're not taking care of them.
I don't understand it. I don't. Like, you lost a limb on some fucking foreign battlefield.
Yeah.
Besides the physical injuries, I'm sure some of the mental injuries also prevent you from getting back into like the mainstream workforce.
Absolutely. There's so much PTSD and the things that people see, and you can't undo that. That's with you. And there's some people who don't believe in therapy, so that doesn't help them either, and they think they can deal with it on their own. And I think we are all too familiar that we've someone personally or a friend of a friend who lost their life. It took their own life because they couldn't live anymore with what they've seen and had to go through. After you serve your country, if something happens to you, you should not have to fight to be taken care of. It should be an automatic.
For sure. Especially since that's what you signed up for in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was signed up for college and healthcare and, a guaranteed mortgage, right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Why are you not delivering on, you did your part.
Right. They
should be delivering their bill of goods.
Yeah.
Way serious.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. Like,
yeah.
The show goes wherever the fuck it goes. It's just like, it's like, oh shit, we weren't expecting to get into VA politics. Fuck.
Sorry. But
no need to apologize.
It's really, it's an important issue.
Yeah.
And I just, my heart breaks. And yes, I am a veteran, but I'm capable of working on, I'm talking about the people who really need it. And it's just sad, the struggles that they have to go through. And, and they make it so difficult and they want you to give up because then they don't have to pay you. And that's exactly what happens. So many people, they get so tired and so burnt out with all the appointments and all the things and all the runaround. Eventually they give up and then they never get their money because they say, fuck this. It's not worth it. I don't have anything left to give them. I've given them everything. They're still telling me no. And it's all right there in my paperwork.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucked. Yeah. I'm glad I was in a position where like I was approached by a couple of recruiters as I was getting out of high school and I was just like, no, I don't think that's for me yet. And I'm probably better off for it because I graduated in high school in 99, so I would have definitely been, out in the shit during 9/11.
Yeah. Yeah. I went in at 98. So
I probably would have tried to talk my way out of being in infantry, but who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. Like, and my eyesight's always been so bad. I don't know if I would have passed the physical.
Oh, yeah. Your eyesight, you probably wouldn't have. So lucky you.
Yeah. My father somehow avoided the Vietnam draft because of his eyesight. So,
lucky him as well.
Yeah, like his lottery number was pulled, and they're just like, nah.
No, good for him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here if.
No.
Crazy to think in like our parents' lifetimes they were still fucking drafting people.
Yeah, wild.
Could you imagine just like, oh yeah, just waking up one morning, oh, I have to go off to fucking Vietnam.
Yeah,
great.
I mean, I will say, in other countries, Israel, for example, they're required to do 2 years of military service after high school.
Yeah.
And I don't hate that idea because I think as teenagers, we go through high school and at 17, maybe 16, depending on when you graduate, you're expected to have your whole life planned out in the sense of this is the college I'm going to go to. These are the classes I'm going to take. And this is what I'm going to do for a living.
And here's the lifelong debt I may be saddled with for doing it.
Yes. But there's so much pressure on that. And some of these kids don't even know how to do their own laundry.
Oh, I know.
So I think I love the thought of the 2 years in the sense of it, because for me, it made me grow up. I had a pretty good discipline because growing up on a dairy farm, but there were still things that I needed, and the military gave that to me. And nowadays, it's not like when we grew up, my family, we sat together at dinner. We had dinner together every night, unless playing sports or something, but we always sat down as a family. You didn't sit in the living room or anything like that. We talked about things, all the things. None of that happens today. Parents half the time don't even see their kids. Everyone's so off doing their own things. And I like the thought of the discipline that the military can bring and the maturity that you would have in those 2 years. And then you could either stay in the military, you still get your education, or you could leave and get your education. But I think you would feel a lot more secure about what you were doing and confident.
Yeah. I mean, if it was for everyone, like across the board, that's a good system.
Yeah. Yes.
The old draft system where it's just like at random.
Oh, no.
And often that, in rich people's kids didn't have to go,
Right.
or if you were actively enrolled in college, you didn't have to go.
Sure.
It's like, with all the asterisks, it's bad. If it's just like across the board, like,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Rich, poor.
Yeah. Unless you're physically disabled, eyesight, whatever it is, you can't be in. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and hell, I'm sure, there's some administrative roles that could even be found depending on what the nature of your disability that could be.
Sure.
It's like, well, you got to put in your time and serve in some respect, even if it's filing fucking paperwork, making sure that everyone else gets their VA appointments or some shit.
Right.
That's still doing part of the job. But unfortunately, the inequality in our current system is not great.
It's not great.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The majority of the people that go in generally are coming from lower income families.
I would say lower income families, or again, someone who maybe is not lower income, but the parents aren't willing to sign paperwork for college. Like my parents weren't going to sign. And we, they said, no, we're not doing the paperwork. And rightfully so, because by Christmas, I would have been out the door with all the drinking that I did back in the day. So I understand now why they said, no, we're not doing that. Who wants to take the hit? And, and doing it myself, I am so much more grateful for the work that I had to put in because I had to do it myself. No one helped me.
Hell yeah.
So I think it means more to me, getting that degree.
Well, and speaking of your sobriety, did you sober up post-military or while you were in? Or
post-military. I've been sober for 15 years. It was 15 years on Halloween.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Or something that happened on Halloween 15 years ago?
No. So actually, I remember I had gotten sober, I think a few days before Halloween, but I couldn't remember the exact date. I mean, it was pretty hazy. So I just said, I know I was sober. I knew that I was sober on Halloween. So I used that as my date, but I believe it was actually a couple days prior.
Nice.
Yeah. And, I come from a family of alcoholics. Both I was adopted. So my adopted family is the dairy farm, but my biological parents are both severe alcoholics. Both have passed now. So it was bound to hit me, and it did. And it was fun at times while it lasted, but you couldn't dare. I couldn't go back. Now I watch drunk people and I just laugh and I'm like, thank God that's not me anymore.
Oh, enjoy laughing at me.
Keep drinking, Matt. Drink up, buddy.
I'm going to. You can't stop me. Did your drinking get worse while you were in the military, though? Or
oh, my drinking took off. I didn't really drink much in high school or anything. I mean, a couple times, but I got in the military. So, San Diego, you're underage. So where'd you go? Tijuana. Everyone goes to Tijuana and parties. Oh, yeah. I was drinking like a fish. And, got in trouble for underage drinking. And then I got put on restriction, which means I could go to work into my barracks. I couldn't really do any other things. I couldn't go to the shopping or anything. And so the people in my building, they knew I was on restriction, and the guys come down to my room. They're like, hey, we got a keg up in our bathtub. And I was like, I'm on restriction. I can't go. Come on, just your shirt's upstairs. You left a shirt upstairs. Come on, come get your shirt. Be real quick. Next thing I know, I'm doing a keg stand. And I don't know how long I was up there, but it was long enough because next thing I know, there's someone knocking on the door, and it's the head of security asking me why I'm not in my room and why am I drunk. So
no.
back to Captain's Mess again, and this time they put me in the restricted barracks. So I'm pretty much in jail. And I got to strip and wax floors for 15 days straight.
That's miserable.
It was miserable.
Were these other sailors just like, oh, hey, hot girl, come drink with us?
Well, I knew them because we all worked together. So
well, that doesn't mean that they didn't have ulterior motive.
Oh no, they may have. One of the guys I remember, oh my God, he literally, I don't even know how he made it in the military. He was so short, but he literally came right up to my boobs. And so when he'd look at me, he just looked at me and I'm like, put your head up, because his head literally just hit in between my breasts. And he was the one with the keg in his bathtub. I was like, God. So
I take it that's not allowed in.
No, that was frowned upon. Yeah, that was not cool at all. I mean, I had a great time, but
Oh, of course.
yeah, but no, that didn't go over well.
Anyone get court-martialed over it, or
Captain's Mess?
Okay.
So basically, yeah, they call it sometimes court-martial or Captain's Mess, and so I lost more money and more rank.
Ooh.
Yeah, so when you get in trouble, a lot of times you lose money and rank, and so that was shitty. But I did it to myself. And I did go through some not just AA, but I went through some programs where I stayed inpatient for 30 days and things like that to the military. But at that time when I was young, I just felt like I'm young. This is like what young people do,
Right.
And I didn't really take it. I knew the chances of me having a problem were high because of my family, but I didn't take it seriously. And so, I get home and I drinking like crazy, this and that, and I get a DUI, and that's when my sobriety started, and haven't had a drink since.
Well, good on you.
Thank you.
I'll drink your share.
Please do.
I will.
Hey.
Done.
Red Bull and vodka.
No, not so much.
Okay, well, that was my drink.
Really?
Yeah.
I can tell you haven't drank in 15 years if that's your drink of choice.
Oh.
Had some really, really rough Red Bull vodka drunks in my 20s.
Yeah.
Definitely left a bar and like, I'm good. Drove home. Made it home fine, but apparently left a voicemail on someone's phone that I thought was coherent, and it was not.
Oh no.
They back to me like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, I got behind the wheel. That wasn't good.
Mm-mm.
Not good. Don't drink and drive. It's stupid.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.
In your 20, like,
You think you're invincible.
oh yeah. Well, you think you're invincible. And 20 years ago, not everyone had a fucking camera with you.
Right.
So,
And I literally at that time when I knew all the cops I knew the local cops because they would go to the bars and they knew who I was. They knew everyone. They would literally, when I got my DUI, I had driven into a different town and that's how I got picked up. If I would have just went home instead of going somewhere else for an after party, I never would have got caught. But I think that was, a blessing in disguise. So I'm grateful for that because I don't miss drinking and I don't miss the hangovers and I don't miss not remembering. So I feel much better when I wake up these days.
I can imagine. I mean, it only takes a Coca-Cola level of caffeine to keep you going. So,
Right.
Yeah, that is not the case for me. You need a little bit stronger caffeine. Obviously, I'm a proponent of people drinking if it's not going to ruin their lives.
Of course. And I mean, there's more people that drink than that don't drink. It's a very small percentage of people who are in recovery.
Yeah, but there's probably a lot of people that should be that aren't.
1,000%. Absolutely.
It's kind of like people with kids. A lot of people have kids who have no business having children.
Exactly.
People are not as self-aware as they should be about something.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh shit, is this my intervention? Is there someone hiding? Oh,
I promise you, I'm not coming to do an intervention on you.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't work anyways. Like, this would be the weirdest podcast ever. And now we drink with your now sober host, Matt Slayer.
Right?
I'm just going to sit and watch you drink while other guests, sit and watch you guys do shots while I drink my water.
Yeah, that's not a good setup.
It definitely isn't. Thankfully, Dr. Drew, of all people, defined addiction as it's not actually addiction until it negatively impacts your life.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Because there are people who can drink and it doesn't negatively affect their relationships or their life or anything, and they know how to say, no, I'm done. I didn't know how to say, no, I'm done. I was like, give me more, give me more, give me more. Yeah. Yeah. Until I couldn't take anymore.
And, obviously that was a, genetic thing for you. If both parents were also alcoholics, and it's like, oh, there is some nature versus nurture that goes on.
Sure. Absolutely.
But it, good on you for getting that monkey off your back. And
thank you.
Have you ever dabbled with any other stuff, or you're just completely sober?
I do smoke marijuana, but I didn't start that till about 3 years ago. And that, that has really helped with, like anxiety, sleeping, things like that. God, I drove here this time, and normally it's a 6.5 hour drive. Well, there's some wonderful road construction on the I-10 in like Indio, and it was a 2-hour delay.
Oh.
So it took me over 8 hours to get here. By the time I got to where I was staying, the first place I went to was the dispensary because I didn't even bring anything with me because I was like, oh, I'll be fine. I was just so get me out of this car, get me off the road, and I just needed something, and took a couple puffs and I was good to go.
With that kind of delay, it feels like it almost would have been faster for you to drive up to Vegas than come down 15.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, especially those desert roads where it's just fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I do a lot of thinking on those trips, and I've been making a lot of trips. 2 weeks ago I was in Vegas, and then actually had to cross over to LA and spend the night and do some work, and then go home. And I'm back here again. This is my last trip until the XBiz Awards. But I get a lot of ideas. I get a lot of long phone calls out of the way, because I've got all that time. And I really, and if I'm not doing any of that, I'm just jamming out to music. So usually it goes pretty quickly. But it's exhausting, like just even on your body, the driving is really hard. And as I had back surgery in July. And so the worst thing that I can be doing is making long drives.
Yeah.
My doctor, he's actually a friend of mine. He's a photographer friend of mine, and he yells at me every time. Tell me you're not driving. I'm driving. You know how I feel about that. Yep, I know. It's not good for me, but it is what it is. I mean, he understands, but it's hard on my body.
Fully understandable. It's like, especially coming from AZ, it's like the flight, by the time you get in and out of LAX, get a car, all that it's almost the same time.
It's almost the same time. But here's the thing. I remember being in San Diego, back in the day, and you could get a flight to Arizona for like $99 or $89. Those flights don't really exist anymore. So it's not cheap. And then even if you don't get a car, the Ubers are so expensive. And as you know, the work around here is one's over here, one's over here. It's so spread out. I mean, you might spend $150 just in the Uber a day, just for one. Easily. So it just doesn't make any sense for me, one day, maybe when I'm making all the big bucks and I'm a multimillionaire, because we're all going to be millionaires doing porn, right? Then I can fly and do the things.
Well, at that point, you just have an LA home too.
True. Yes. How could I forget?
Like, why would you just not buy property in LA at that point when you're?
Yes, because it's so cheap here.
Well, if you're a millionaire, it's
at that point. Then yes, it would be worth having a little home here.
Well, especially if it was just your office, you could write it all off on your taxes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, and that's the crazy part about like the industry. It's just like, yes, everyone got into this for money, but it's just like the days of vivid contract girls and big money from studio work. I mean, you can definitely make a good living, but you're not making like the fucking retire fucking in a couple of years money. Now, some people are making fantastic money on OnlyFans, but that's few and far between. It's like any other form of entertainment.
Of course.
Some people are making a lot of money, and some people are like, well, I'm surviving on this.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that like annoys me the most is when somebody runs an article on this OnlyFans model and she made $43 million or she did. There's a very small percentage of anybody that's making any kind of money. I mean, like real livable money.
Oh yeah, no,
and people don't understand that.
The average OF creator makes $160 a month.
Yeah.
That is on average.
Yeah.
Obviously there's nothing wrong with the profession, but could you imagine doing the profession for only $160 a month?
Yeah. No.
To deal with all the discrimination, all the stigmas, all the bullshit for $160 a
Not
month?
worth it.
No.
No. So I see, people all the time, like, ask, oh, how do I get into it? And how do I was like, well, I mean, I'll tell you, I'll happily tell you, but if you're doing this strictly because you think you're going to be a multimillionaire, good luck. Maybe it will happen. Most likely it's not going to happen. So don't quit your day job.
See, whenever I get somebody friends trying to talk about coming in, like, I try to talk them out of it.
Yeah.
Immediately try to talk them out of it. Like, I tell them every negative aspect of the job.
Yeah.
And then if they're still like, well, I still want to, I'm like, okay, now I'll help you. But,
right. But you got to list. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, because the last thing you want to fucking do is just dip your toes into this shit and then have all the negative drawbacks of it and have none of the rewards.
Right.
On the one plus side of everyone having an OF and there being so much content out there, it's not as high of a likelihood that someone's going to discover what you're doing if you only dip your toes in.
Sure.
There's just so much content to sift through for them. It's not like back in the day when there's only like so many performers, and if you're on a box cover, someone's going to fucking see it.
Right. Yeah, that was a big deal back then.
Yeah. Now it's just like, you would have to be phenomenally unlucky if you did like 2 scenes and someone you knew happened to stumble across it.
Yes, absolutely.
But if you're in for any more length of time, everyone's going to find out.
Yeah.
And if you're not strong enough to deal with that, if you're not willing to deal with the stigma of it, like, I don't know what to tell you. It's part of unfortunately, the societal norm of signing up at this point.
I find it really interesting. And again, I understand why people are like, don't tell their families and this and that. But for me, and maybe I don't want to say it's because I'm older, but I do feel like it's because I'm older. I mean, I've lived life and this and that. I didn't try to hide it from I've always been like the wild child anyway. I mean, I'm the only one that's left home and, done the things and went to the military and just did everything differently. But when I did it, I was like, I told my family, I mean, I knew it probably wasn't going to be, who knows what they were going to say, but it probably wasn't going to be good, but I didn't care. I'm 45 years old. I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
At this point, I'm living my life for me. And so I couldn't imagine doing this job and being afraid or doing everything I have to do to hide what I'm doing. Because that doesn't sound fun to me. I want to enjoy all the aspects of it, So I want to be able to enjoy the fun parts of it without having to hide.
Definitely. And also, the fact that as an adult, no matter if you're an 18-year-old adult or a 45-year-old, the fact that you feel the need to hide it from your fucking family.
Right. I mean, I guess, a couple of things I've come to conclusions. Maybe those people think, they've got a big inheritance coming one day. So they're afraid if they tell their family, they're going to lose out on that.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to go real well when your family does find out.
Right.
And then you've been lying to them.
So I think honesty is your best policy, Yeah,
they're going to find out.
Yeah. And yeah, there are families and people in your family or friends that aren't going to like it and going to have their own opinion. And they can have those opinions. But at the end of the day, this is your life and you only get to live it one time. And if this is what makes you happy, whatever your profession is, and you're not hurting anybody else, then do it.
Yeah.
And, I had a career for 21 years that I absolutely loved. I was an esthetician and laser technician. I've been in the skincare beauty world for 21 years. Absolutely loved it. That's what I did after I got out of the military. And then when this opportunity came my way, I shut it down for 3 years. And it wasn't because I was afraid of the sex part. It was, what if somebody finds me? And I wasn't, and what if I'm at work and I get fired, And so they kept asking me for 3 years. And finally I said, you know what? I'm ready. I don't care who finds out. I'm living my life for me. If somebody doesn't like it, they don't have to be in my life. And here I am. And I haven't lost anyone,
Yeah. As I like to say to people, the trash sees itself out.
Yes.
If someone doesn't want to be part of your fucking life because of a choice you made where you're not hurting anyone,
yeah,
fuck them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Fuck them.
Yeah. I will say it hasn't been great on my relationships, or having a relationship with a man in my life. That has not gone well for me. I actually I was just started in the industry a little bit and started seeing a guy. So he knew what I did. There was no secrets, nothing that. He's super conservative, kind of like what I call vanilla guy, but lovely, like great guy, like just I adore him. He's actually still one of my best friends. We're great friends. And he tried really hard for 9 months. I mean, really, really hard for like he went through the things and he just couldn't process. Like he said, I know that you're not cheating on me. Like it has nothing to do with that. It's the thought of how many people you had sex with this week, or how many dicks were in your mouth. Like the DNA that's left like inside you or on you. Like that's how his mind works. And that's what he couldn't get over. But he's still like my biggest fan. I mean, he supports me any way that he can. He's amazing. And I give him props for at least actually giving a real shot with me. And then I just, I went out with a guy like a month ago. He asked me out and great guy, this and that. Told him what I did. He was like, okay. And then after like 2 dates, he was like, you're wonderful, but your job, I can't. And I was like, okay, see you later.
Well, and that's great that he decided to not string you along.
Yes. Yep. Because I'm honest, because somebody said, well, why be honest from the beginning? I said, why would I want to? I don't want to live my life a lie.
Well, and also, if you're trying to actually build a relationship with someone, how are they ever going to trust
you if I lied from the beginning?
Right.
No, I'm not going to do that. They're going to know. And either they're going to make a decision that day, or very soon after, they're going to make a decision after they spend some time with me.
Yeah.
And so, it is what it is.
Oh, for sure. And that is exactly one of the things I warn people about when they're like, oh, I want to get him. I'm like, this can be a very fucking lonely place.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I have never been a performer. I've never wanted to be a performer. Mm-hmm. And I have women discriminating against me because of my connections to the industry.
Sure.
And like, it's got to be 10 times worse to be a woman and actually being a performer because dudes just, it's the crazy hypocrisy of like, oh, if I bang 10 women, I'm a player.
Right.
But, you bang 10 women.
And you're a whore.
Right.
And that's bad.
Right. Like, oh, once there's feelings involved, I get possessive about sex. Like, no, it's just hypocrisy, dude.
Yeah.
It's just hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those horrible societal norms that is still ingrained in so many people. And hell, the first performer I dated, like, it took a minute for me to like actually, be cool in my head.
Sure.
I never vocalized it to her because this is what I signed up for. She was a performer when I met her.
Yep. And,
I eventually got the fuck over it.
Yep.
But also I'm able to take in new information and be like, okay, yeah,
Yeah, I think, and I think, when you go when I go into a relationship, I tell them, I say, something like this, communication's key. And I said, I will never come home from a scene or a shoot and be like, oh my God, guess who I fucked today? Like, I just think that's rude. Like, I would never say that to my partner.
What if it turned them on?
If that's something they liked, then yes. But in general.
How are you going to find that out though?
Well, because I'm going to have this exact conversation. And but if they ask me direct questions, I will answer any question they have. But I'm not going to be like, oh, I fucked so-and-so and he was so great and yada, yada. Because I'm not trying to hurt their feelings, especially if that's, this just really isn't their world. I still want to be respectful to their feelings, to an extent. I mean, yes, they know what I do and there's certain things we talk about and certain things we don't, and that's okay.
For sure. I think it's a balancing act because I don't think it's disrespectful being like, I had a good day at work.
Yeah.
Because it is the job.
Right.
As long as, their needs are being met as well. Like,
absolutely. And that's got to definitely be a balancing act. I mean, for me, God, every time I shoot and then know that I'm going home, like I couldn't wait to fuck my boyfriend. Like that's all I want to do. I just want to rail him. And he's like, you just like were a week in LA and all you want to do is come home. Like, don't you want a break? No, I want you. Like you, and then I can have a break. Yeah, that's what I look forward to.
This is actual intimacy.
Yes, exactly.
That is, performative.
Yes, totally different.
And not even necessarily all that pleasurable.
Yeah, sometimes it's not. Yeah.
Weird positions, fucking starting and stopping.
Yes.
It's a performance.
Yes.
Unfortunately, people see the finished product and don't understand what it takes to make the sausage.
Yes. And there's a lot that goes into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the days can be really long.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are like, oh, you might, and they think, oh, well, if you're not on set, then you're not working. That's a lie. I'm always working. If I'm not on set, I'm uploading videos, I'm editing, I'm social media. I mean, social media itself is a full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just that alone. So there's always stuff being done. So if I'm not shooting, I'm still doing stuff.
Oh, no. This is an entrepreneurial position.
Yes.
You are self-employed. There is no clocking out. The
No.
job is always on. And especially when you have an international fan base, it's not like you can keep business hours and be like, it's after 5 p.m. Sorry,
Yeah.
the office is closed. Well, the guy in India doesn't give a fuck that it's 5 p.m. in the States.
That's right.
He's like, no. I want your attention now.
Yes. Yep. So, and again, that's also a balancing act is finding, you want to meet the needs of your fans, you want to meet your own needs. And then if you have a partner, in family, that's a whole nother segment. So I think it can be a lot to break up and figure out, but you can do it.
Oh, it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people that are in successful relationships.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of trial and error. I've watched a lot of people go through a lot of bad relationships over the years too.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, the tale of old time comes in. Some Captain Save-A-Ho shows up. I will save you from this life that you've chosen. I will flat shower you with gifts and money, and then all of a sudden resent you for it a year later when you're not working. I've taken you away from the profession that you wanted to have. Right.
Yes, I love the Save-A-Ho stories, and there's so many of them. And I'm never going to be a Save-A-Ho girl because I never have been, and I never will. I've always done everything myself, and I will continue to do so. I don't want to depend on somebody.
Well, nor should you.
No, but there's a lot of that mentality.
I don't think it's like people get into this thinking like, oh, some dude's going to save me one day. I think it's one of those things where like, because there are definite swings in people's careers, there's definite ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
When someone, in a lot of cases, fucking love bombs people.
Yeah.
And they've had a rough go at it, relationships. Oh my God, this wealthy, well-to-do fucking, dude, he wants me. He wants me so much. He's willing to, buy me a new fucking life. All I have to do is give up this thing that may not be making me all that happy anymore.
Right.
Sure. Sounds great.
Until that's not making you happy anymore.
Right. Until your independence is gone. The dude starts to resent you because you're not contributing financially to the household.
Right.
And it's such hypocrisy because you were a performer when he met you.
Yep.
That's what brought him to the party.
Absolutely.
Like if you were just a server at Applebee's, I don't think he would be trying to save you from this life.
No. And it's interesting. There's so many people who think people in this industry need help, need saving. They didn't choose this. Yeah, I chose this. I left a career and chose to switch, and this is what I wanted to do. And I'm really happy doing it for the most part. I mean, obviously there's ups and downs, but
it's a job.
It's a job.
No job is perfect.
Right. No job is perfect. But in the big scheme of things, I am happy doing what I'm doing. And it's something completely different and allows for me to be creative on a different level. And, there's a lot to be said about that.
There is. The amount of upward mobility and freedom that this job can potentially offer people is second to none, especially some performers who get in at 18, 19, who have no education, don't come from money, and their real opportunities in the moment is stuff like fucking serving. And there's nothing wrong with being a bartender, being a server. There's absolutely, but the potential earnings from doing sex work is a lot more. The potential.
Yeah.
There, as said earlier, there's also, you can only be earning $160 a month.
Right.
Because no matter how good you fuck, marketing is actually what's important here.
The marketing, that's what nobody understands. It's all about the marketing. People, again, when people approach me, oh, OnlyFans, this and that. So I just have to put my stuff up there on there and money's, no, money's not going to come in.
No.
You got to do the other part. And that's the hard part. The making of the movies and putting it on a site is easy. It's the marketing that's hard. And finding the people that are going to want to watch your stuff and what makes you different than the next person.
If someone already has a favorite person that they fap to, why are they going to, maybe put you in their rotation?
Right.
First, they have to know you exist.
Yeah.
I came from music before adult, and I used to tell my music artists all the time, like, you can have the best sound in the world. If no one knows it exists, it utterly doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
The marketing is so important. And the other thing I used to tell them all the time is drive will get you further than talent.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's true. Because
very true.
There's a lot of very talented motherfuckers who just don't put in the work because they have an ego on them. Like, my stuff's great. Wow.
Yeah.
They'll find it.
Yeah.
No, they won't. They don't know they're looking for it. They have other options that are already in their life. You are selling a readily available product that in some respects is oversaturated. How do you stand out from the noise?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's fucking difficult. The people that do it and do it well, some of it's luck on top of all the hard work they put in.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we talk about luck, it's so funny because I was told during COVID, you need to do an OnlyFans page. So I created one, but then I really didn't get any help with it. So I didn't really understand the concept of like why would someone want to watch videos of me and it's during COVID? Like I didn't think of like, oh, it's shut down. Like everyone's me watching porn, like all the things.
They have stimmy checks to spend.
I didn't understand and I missed out. I mean, I didn't do a single thing. I had an OnlyFans account for 3 years. I never did anything with it until I got into the industry. Like actually, and was like, oh, I actually need to do this now. Shit, I missed the boat. So some of those people who got in during that COVID did get lucky and they got a ton of fans and followings and that's how they did so well, you know? And I think, you know, other people did something crazy and got noticed and, you know, they're all over the place.
And some people just caught the eye of some gatekeeper at a major company who has a whole marketing arm behind it.
Absolutely.
And they got put in front of the right people. And that's, you know, a more traditional entertainment route. It's like every movie star you know, someone else signed off on that person.
Yes.
That's why you know they exist.
Yep.
Some casting director, some director, some writer, somebody said, you know what? I think you're marketable. So I choose to market you.
You know, I don't love to always go out to late night events and things like that, you know, like red carpet. And it's fun, but I mean, I'm 45. I'd much rather be in bed. I'm not going to lie. But I go to those things because I need to network with people I haven't met yet. You never know who's going to be there. There's directors there. There's agents there. There's this person. You just never know. And so even this, you know, this year at the AVN one, I went to the AVN. I met a director. Just someone introduced me. A friend of mine introduced me. He called my agent the next day and booked me for a scene. He'd never even met me before, but he was so excited. Like, that was amazing. I wouldn't have got that opportunity if I wouldn't have been there. Exactly. So it paid off.
You yelled at me there too.
I did yell at you there. Sorry.
So whatever. I mean, that got you here, didn't it?
It did. I mean, but sometimes you have to use your voice.
Yeah.
You have to ask questions. You have to talk to people. So if you're not willing to do the work, don't be surprised when nothing's happening.
Right. Because obviously I was so deeply offended, and that's why.
No, you were. Like, you just shook your head at me and said, "Okay,
yeah, sure, like,
whatever. What do you want?"
Yeah, like I poorly put it in my phone that night, but I did put it in my phone.
You did.
Like fucked up the date, but I confirmed.
Yep.
We got done.
Yes. So I just think, you know, for me, every set that I go on, I actually ask the director after, and I know some of them feel weird about it because they don't really know what to say to me, but I ask them, what can I do better? What can I work on? I always want to know what I can improve on. Like, I want to learn something that I need to work on because I want to be a better performer. Whatever that looks like. So I make it a point to ask every director, thank you. I thank them. And I also say, what is something you saw that I could work on? And sometimes, a lot of times it's nothing, like you did great, whatever. Other times it might just be, don't look at the camera or, little things like that. But that's all great feedback. So I'm here to learn because I don't know shit, frankly,
Well, there's no porno 101. It's not like
there isn't.
It's not like, oh, hell, welcome to pornography. This is how you open to the camera.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the first time I heard it, open to the camera, like, what does that even mean? I mean, I know what it means now, but when I first heard it, that was like the strangest thing I'd ever heard of.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You got to see the goods.
Exactly. Believe me, as an editor who edits people's OF content, I'm often screaming. It's like, I can't see any penetration. What is happening here?
Yes. Well, and someone made a good point to me. They said, you're doing content with these people, other content creators and performers. The goal is not for them to come. The goal is for you to get good content. So if they don't come, like, you don't have to let them come. If somebody is, let's just say, if there's someone that can only come in one position and you can't see what's going on because that's the only way this man can come, then you fake the come shot and you do it in a different position.
Yep.
Instead of forcing it. And sorry, you're not going to come with me today because that doesn't look good. And so, there's things like that I am I'm looking at 2025 And I'm looking at things like that now. Things that I learned this year that, oh, I missed that. I didn't understand that. I understand this now. Okay.
Unfortunately, some performers use content trades as basically hookups with a camera present.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not my thing. I mean, it's work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I hear those stories and I'm like, really? I've never once done that, ever.
Well, I'm sure if you're DM sliding someone, it's still, oh no, you're trying to get content, not trying to get laid.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there are some dudes that, I hear horror stories about. It's just like, oh yeah, no, he was really just looking to fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
but I also ask lots of questions before I collab with somebody, and I look at their page and I talk to other people. I don't just jump in with anybody, because I think that's when those things can happen.
well, for sure. And also, I don't understand, as two sex workers, why not just be upfront about, like, hey, I think you're hot. Do you want a bone?
Yeah. Just say it.
Yeah, just
Why
say
do you
it.
have to say content?
Right.
Because you don't really care about the content.
Right. You don't care about the content at all.
Maybe they'll say yes.
Yeah, maybe they'll say, if you're looking to just fuck, do you really want to fuck someone who's there for other pretenses? Like, well, no. If you're both there to fuck, maybe you'll enjoy just fucking then, instead of, doing performative things.
Yeah.
It's a weird vibe when, like, oh, you're there to fuck and they're there to put on a performance, and, those don't quite mesh up.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird vibes.
Yeah. Again, I think coming in older, I came in at 43. And I think coming in as an older individual who's lived life, I see through those things. Like, I'm not easily manipulated. I'm not coerced. I'm not any of those things. You can't sweet talk. I mean, you can sweet talk me all you want, but it's not going to work. Because I can see through that.
Right.
I am a businesswoman first and foremost. So everything I do is business, and there's a reason behind it.
Right. Like, oh, your ulterior motives are pretty transparent right now.
Yeah.
Is there ever a moment where, like, a dude is just like, has come with you directly and you're just like coming at you directly about it? Like, hey, I just want to hook up off set.
No, actually. If it did happen, I would just say no. That.
There's no circumstance where you'd be like, oh, I'm going to hook up with a coworker.
No. I sorry. Let me rephrase that. There's not a situation that might not happen. I might not say, okay, like, I actually would enjoy doing it with that person, but it's not something I think about. I think that'd have to just come
in the moment. You'd be like,
moment. Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And that would be fine again. But, just depends.
How often are you getting laid off camera these days?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I think maybe like once a week.
Oh, okay. So
it's
like, you have a healthy sex life away from work.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Good.
I'm in the lifestyle as well, but I don't play in the lifestyle anymore. I haven't since I got into porn, because most lifestyle people don't test.
Yeah,
and so I go, I'll go to events and stuff, and people, and I said, first thing I say, I don't play. If you're looking for me to play, I don't play. What do you mean you don't play? Well, we test. When's the last time you tested? 6 months ago? Yeah, you didn't test.
You don't test.
No, I test every 2 weeks, and my job is very important to me, and I can't afford to get sick, so I don't play.
So you're like the ultimate unicorn.
Yeah, I'm literally untouchable.
Well, is that like a Pegasus or something? Like, that's right. I am the untameable unicorn you cannot ride.
Right.
So why still go to lifestyle events if...
Because I love the people. I mean, there's people there that I know that I love, and they're wonderful. So I go to social events. I don't go to like house parties, but like we did a couple weeks ago, we did a bar crawl. So we all dressed up in like our Santa outfits, and it was fun. We went, and at the end we dancing and DJ, and it was lovely. It was a great time, and that was a safe event for me to go to. No one's trying to get in my pants. I mean, they might be.
No. Don't kid yourself.
I mean, people were trying, but like they weren't physically like trying. We weren't in a place where they could like get me in bed right at that moment.
Oh, come on. You've never had sex in a bar bathroom?
I have not, believe it or not. I have not.
That's wild.
It is. It's something that's on my bucket list. I actually know the exact bar and the bathroom I want to do it in.
Okay, what bar?
You want me to say it out loud?
Yeah. How else is it going to come into fruition if you don't put it out into the world?
So Bourbon Jack's in downtown Chandler has a handicap bathroom. And it's...
You want to fuck a handicapped dude?
No, I mean, maybe. I don't know. But it's big and it's clean. And it'd be perfect for that. So that's my bathroom of choice.
When you put it out there, hopefully, someone wheels in and takes care of you.
Well, I don't know, because don't just sleep with anybody.
Well, he could be like a handicap athlete. Marathon's his chair.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
You'd have to get 2257 paperwork because if you did a dude who's like a handicap athlete in a handicap stall, you have to film that. You have.
I know. I really wanted to, when I was having issues with my back and having surgery, I wanted to do wheelchair content.
Why didn't you?
Because I just didn't. I could still do it, but I'm not injured. But like,
oh my God, performance?
Yeah. Like I literally wanted to do like a wheelchair scene.
Do it.
I know. I should.
How wild are you going to get with it? Are they going to take off your depends?
Well, I mean, at that time I couldn't get super wild because I had no feeling in my left leg for 3 months. So I was literally.
Oh, they could put you in any position.
Yeah. So it would have been like, I would have been at their beck and call, like whatever they wanted to do. So in a wheelchair, I thought that would have been kind of fun.
Should have done it. You still can.
I still can.
Still have the wheelchair?
Well, no, I have to rent one.
Oh, it's a tax write-off.
Yeah. It's not that expensive.
No. Or just go steal one from the airport.
I could, but I don't want to get in trouble.
Don't get caught. It's only a crime if you're charged.
Sure. I get it.
Well, hopefully you don't, because then they file charges if you get the charge.
But maybe that's my big story. Maybe that's my big story that makes me like blow up. That's my TMZ story.
I
don't know if I want that for my TMZ story, but I'm just saying.
I don't think you want to go on set and be like, oh, she's known for stealing stuff.
No. But the story behind it was really good.
Oh, for sure. Now, if you legitimately banged a handicap athlete, like a famous one, that's a great TMZ story.
Oh, absolutely.
Hold on. Let's see if we can find you a hot wheelchair athlete. This probably shouldn't be on my fucking search history.
What are you putting? Hot wheelchair athlete?
Attractive wheelchair athlete.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let's see what the face card looks like for you. You can do better.
Okay.
There'll be further research.
Understood.
When it won't just be dead air.
Okay. Let me know when you find something.
Yeah. Like, that dude looks like he was just like kind of a keg bro until he lost his legs. Well, he's got like,
yeah,
a similar stocky upper body to I do, and then he's got, 2 plastic legs in a wheelchair. It's just like, bro, did you lose your legs at a kegger? Keg stand gone wrong. Way wrong.
Way wrong.
I don't know, but there has to be. There are professional athletes. Like,
yes.
There has to be.
Absolutely. I'm going to look into that more.
Just like, go get tested.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's honestly what some people have to do to really stand out from the noise. Do some crazy shit. Like, look at how much traction Lily Phillips has gotten for the 101 dudes she did in a day.
I know. She's gotten a lot. Although she's very upset about it. She's been crying a lot. There's been all this stuff.
How much do you believe that is real?
Well, somebody told me is it true that the people weren't tested? Somebody said that.
I'm sure some of them weren't.
So I would be more, she should feel like shit then. The testing thing is like a big deal for me.
It is, but it's one of those things where I was talking to someone else who was wanting to do like one of those massive gangbangs.
Sure.
And they're just like, you literally just won't get enough bodies to make the numbers if you expect everyone to get tested. So if people don't have current tests, you have to just make them wear condoms.
So, condoms too. So were they wearing condoms?
I don't know. I haven't seen the content.
Because a lot of the stories coming out is like she's now like regretting, like seems like she's regretting it. I don't know how true it is, of course, if it's just she's just playing it up. But good for her. I think that's amazing. Like, that's pretty bold.
Oh, definitely. And she was talking about doing 1,000 in 24 hours.
Yeah. Amazing. Good for her.
Yeah. But it's a wild stunt.
Absolutely.
No matter if she's still down with it or not, it was a wild stunt to attempt.
Yeah.
It definitely, got picked up by so many outlets.
Yeah.
We're talking about it right now. This is not the first podcast where it's been a discussion.
Right.
Because it was so outlandish even for the industry.
Yeah. And I like good, like I said, like kudos to her, because that's a big deal of some, to try to put that together and accomplish that. I can't even imagine 1,000. That's just like out of this world. What do they do? Just like get their dick wet and that's it? Because like basically,
with the Houston like 500 back in the day, where Houston did 500 dudes.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how it goes. Like it was like 2 pumps and you're out.
You're out. Yeah,
it was not to completion with anybody.
Absolutely.
I think maybe the last person got to go to completion, or maybe the first. I don't know.
Lucky them.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, I believe Ron Jeremy went first. Which in retrospect, not so great.
Not so great.
At the time, socially acceptable.
Sure.
It's one of those things that, did not age well.
No. No. And not such a great human either.
No, not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much. Was probably not a great human then.
No, but we didn't know.
Oh, no. It was the industry's worst kept secret for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, which I also, that brings up another thing. Things like that. Like, how did that stay a secret for so, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a big person in the industry.
Yeah.
How did that stay a secret for so long? And why didn't anyone want to protect people? And I'm sure that there's many different avenues you can go down to answer that question. But that, I just don't understand.
So, okay. As far as I can tell, because, he was a legend.
Sure.
A lot of people, it's the same reason that a lot of people don't come forward about rape allegations. It's like they're afraid that they're not going to be believed.
Right.
And the potential negative impact on their own careers, if they're not believed, could be so fucking bad in their minds.
But then you got other people who are getting with other people and trying to pin rape on someone who's completely innocent.
Yeah.
And trying to ruin someone's life. So shame on them. Oh,
for sure. That's I can't say that's equally as evil, but it is fucking evil.
Yeah. It's terrible. And but yeah, I my heart always goes out to the girls who, talk about that they've, been raped or something bad's happened, they've been hurt, because that shouldn't happen to anyone. I don't believe in that.
Especially within the industry, which should be a safe sexual environment.
Yes, at all times. And I just wish that more people felt like they could come forward and that it would be okay. Like that someone would help them, and do whatever needs to be done, whether they're going to process it, they're going to investigate this and that. But when I hear people say, this happened to me, but I was afraid I wasn't going to get hired for a job. Like, I don't care about what happens to my job after that. Like, that's not my concern.
For sure.
It's my health, and I want to protect other people too. So it's always going to be bigger than yourself.
But that you're also an adult.
Yes.
You're a lived in the real world adult.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of our cohorts are very young.
True.
Don't have a lot of guidance.
Right.
And have been given bad advice by other people who don't know any better themselves.
Yes, I agree. I see that all the time.
It's just like, well, you don't want to do that. That'll piss off so-and-so and so-and-so. And then, almost every woman I know who's been in this industry for an extended period of time has a Ron story. Like, it was a horribly kept secret.
Wow.
Heard so many of them in private.
Wow.
And it's like, well, Matt, why didn't you go do something? Like, I don't know what the fuck I was supposed to do. So it's just like, that sucks. I don't like the dude.
Right.
I don't know what, I'm not booking him on my show. That's the extent of my power.
Right.
Also, Ron has never liked me, so it's okay. It used to be hilarious because, he was like a fixture at the Rainbow over on Sunset. And I'd have friends who want to go over there, like, because it's one of the few rock and roll bars left. And I'm like, I would often joke with, especially friends from coming in around town, like, we're going to run around Jeremy. Watch when I say hello to him.
How'd that go?
Oh, it's always like, hi, Ron.
Yeah. And I get it too. If you're coming into the industry and he's a big name, he's a legend, like, you want that, like, kind of on your resume, right? Like, it sounds like a good idea.
And with some people, because once again, no porno 101, especially in the olden days, they may not have necessarily known it was inappropriate at the time.
Right.
Like, oh, he's a legendary male talent. Okay, he's finger banging me at a convention on the convention floor without asking consent.
Must be okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is porn.
Yeah. No, that's
No,
not
it's
porn.
not porn.
That's not porn.
Right. If you don't know what's wrong,
You just go with it.
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then later on, like, holy fuck. I didn't feel good about that, but fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just, unfortunately how people survive like tumors in the industry for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing.
Because the average career historically was like 6 months.
Yeah.
So you just get a lot of fucking turnover too. There's a lot of fucking short memories.
Mm-hmm.
Really weird to like been over 10 years and watch people that 10 years ago had some pretty scandalous shit
Yeah.
happen and then still be around, be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, and I'm of two mindsets about it because on one hand, it's like if they're truly repentant and they've reformed, like, do you punish someone for one misstep for their entire life?
Sure.
But on the other hand, like, there's some pretty egregious shit that happened.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know how to, bring it together at times. It's just like,
yeah. I get that.
if you look at like the real world with criminal justice, is like, yes, you want to punish a criminal, but like, what good does it do to just punish them and not try to
Reform.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Totally.
So it's a case by case basis, and like,
Of course.
is someone actually repentant on their behavior? Has it been habitual?
Yeah.
Like in Ron's case, the courts the courts never got their chance to show that it was habitual, but they accused him
Yeah.
of it being.
And I'm sure it would have come out.
For sure. They accused him of it being pretty habitual. So like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
But some people who 10, 15 years ago made a stupid mistake and you hold that against them forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it depends on what that mistake is,
For sure. For sure.
to decide, if you're going to give them a second chance and have they done what they've needed to do to become a better human being,
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah. If it was like a violent crime, yeah, no, we don't need to,
Oh,
yeah, you can go reform somewhere else, dog.
yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
You've lost your backstage pass. It's shit like, the instance I'm thinking of was like someone faking a test.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of talk around that.
And it's one of those things where like, it's not right. It's obviously not right.
It's not right. But I don't know if that's something that should be held over someone for the next 10 years.
Right. Well, and it's also, what was their motivation for faking a test? Their motivation might have been, oh, if I don't work, I'm going to fucking get evicted, starve.
Right.
It's a move out of desperation, not trying to maliciously harm someone to get laid.
Right. And if the testing wasn't $250 to $300, depending on where you get tested, and it was a more reasonable test, pricing, that would make it easier too. Instead, everyone wants to be money grabbers. And I mean, I can get all that, Arizona, we have Maricopa County Health Department. I can go get all the same testing except for MGen and the trichomoniasis, which you'll know if you have that one, for $20.
Oh, LA County, everything minus MGen, for free.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
The problem is they will not let you get retested very quickly.
Oh, see, we can go all the time. They don't. It's $20. We can go as often as we want.
I think if I bounced between different county clinics in the county, I could probably do it for free.
Yeah.
But like to go to the one here in Hollywood, when I got chlamydia in 2015, I popped for chlamydia at the clinic, did my round of antibiotics, and immediately wanted to retest after doing the round of antibiotics. And they're just
That
like,
makes sense.
oh, you were just here. We gave you antibiotics. You're fine. I'm like, but no.
To make sure that I'm fine.
Right. Like, I just confirmed had a case of chlamydia. I would like to make sure that I'm not potentially giving it to someone else.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing.
And they're just like, no, we can't retest you this quickly.
Wow.
I went up to TTS and paid.
Yep.
Just to, I got it from a civilian, of course. So,
Of course.
of course.
Yeah.
But it was just like, this flies in the face of every like common sense thing I've ever heard. Like, no, after you have an infection, you definitely retest to make sure
Yes,
it's not still there,
absolutely. Before you touch another human
right?
in that way. Yes. So,
But because I'm not a performer, I regularly, whenever they let me, I go and make use of the free testing.
yes. Yeah. I just, I tell people, I was like, the testing alone is almost $600 a month. So I said, if you get one paid $800, let's just call it $800 scene for the whole month, but you just spent almost $600 in testing, that's not a good turnout.
No,
Yeah, I mean, that's bad.
it's barely more than the average OF creator.
Right. So again, you got to look at the numbers, and make sure I'm on a clean test. You're going to do all the things you can on that clean test to get your money's worth.
Oh, for sure. It was one of the other things that blew my fucking mind back in the day. Like, I've talked about this before, but someone who was my friend years ago was a mope for fucking bukkakis. Yeah, and you're required to get tested. You're fucking coming on some girl's face. And he was trying to convince me to go do it with him. I'm like, what? Why would I want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be male talent in the first place, and I don't even get to touch the girl. Like,
Yeah.
why would I want to do this?
Yeah.
Oh, and they only pay the first 10 dudes to pop? Like, and you still have to, this is all ridiculous. It's just like, how many of these a month do you have to do to even break even on your test?
Yeah.
Because even if you're one of the dudes they pay, it doesn't pay well. Like,
Right.
it was just mind-boggling. And like, he legitimately got upset with me. I'm like, why would I want to do that? Like, besides it being nothing I'm interested in on any level, it's bad business.
Yeah.
Like, there's just doubly no reason to do this.
Yeah.
I am not so desperate to be around a performer that, oh my God, I get to be shoulder to shoulder with 100 other dudes trying to jerk off on her face. Like,
Doesn't sound like a good time, actually.
no, it sounds horrible.
It does.
The smell. I've never been on one of those sets, but the smell, I can only imagine the smell.
So I don't do cum in my mouth. So I don't put cum in my mouth. I don't.
In personal life either?
Even in personal life, I don't. I'm like a weird texture like person. We all know everyone has their own texture and all the things. And I can't, I can't. It just makes me want to throw up. I can't. So that's a hard one. I can do it like on my face, but I wouldn't want to do it bukkake. I would definitely throw up. Yeah, like, because there would be so much of it, and someone would probably get on my lip, and then I'd be afraid it's going to get in my mouth, and I can't. It just freaks me out.
When did you discover that loads in the mouth were not for you?
I think it's always been that way. Although I have tried before, and it just didn't go. No, it didn't go well. Like when I decided, let me try this, and give it a fair shot. No, that didn't work.
Some partner was just like, I would really love it if you.
No, I actually said, I want to try. Let me try to see if I could and I couldn't do it. I tried, and I went in the bathroom and I threw up.
Are you ever hesitant when you're doing oral that oh my God, this motherfucker's gonna bust and not tell me?
No, I tell them. I mean, I'm straight up. And I'll tell motherfuckers, you come in my mouth, I will fucking punch you in the face. Like, I'm for real. I don't play.
What if they're into that?
Then I'm not the right girl.
No, I mean, you're punching them in the face.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if they just want me to punch them in the face, then I'll go for it. They don't need to come in my mouth to get that. I'll give that out for free.
These hands are free, motherfucker.
Yes. So it's funny because all the producers are always like they kind of look at me funny. I'm like, I don't do cum. It's like a cream pie or all those things, but not in my mouth. On my face, do not get it in my mouth. And they're like, okay, understood.
Any other orifice? Okay.
Yeah. Not my mouth.
I mean, who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I'd probably puke if someone came in my mouth too.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't, it's to each their own.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've never had anyone try to put their penis in my mouth, and not my jam.
Not your jam. Okay. Fair.
Not the preferred genitals I'd want in my mouth.
Yeah.
Not knocking anyone else who's into it.
No.
But much like pineapple on pizza, just not for me.
Not for me either.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like I will happily eat pussy more for just watching my partner's reaction more than my actual pleasure in eating pussy. But
sure, I think there's a lot of men that are like that. It's not they don't do that for them. I mean, they might enjoy it, but they really want to see her.
Oh yeah, no, I want to see the arching of the back and squirming.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
The actual oral itself is like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The results. It's the fucking results.
Yes. Yes. The results.
Do you enjoy watching a man's O face?
I've seen some weird ones.
What's the weirdest one? Describe it.
This one guy that I used to have sex with, like every time it wasn't even his O face, it was just his face the whole time. He always looked like he was in pain. I'm like, and I would ask him, like, am I hurting you? Like, am I hurting you? No. I'm like, your face says different. It says like, you're not enjoying this. No, I'm great. I'm like, you look like you're dying.
I've had women describe my face like that before. I was about to be like, "Do we fuck before?" Like, I don't recall this, but I drink a lot. No, I've definitely had partners be like, "Am I hurting you?" I'm like, no, this feels amazing.
Yeah.
Apparently, I make those faces.
Oh.
Apparently, is a thing.
Yeah.
Just why I'm about to come and miss. It's just like no, just bury my face near her shoulder and. Just have to be traumatized by thinking that her pussy's killing me.
Right. Oh my God.
Swear girl, it is not. I'm having a good time. I promise you.
You just have an ugly face.
Wow.
Well.
Wow.
Like O face.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. God damn. That was on camera. I'm not cutting that if you ask. That is the one exception to the please cut that in post. That I'm not cutting. You fucking said nope, that stays in.
I did say you have an ugly face.
You did. And now you're doubling down on it.
But I meant to say you have an ugly O face.
Mm-hmm. No, the truth came out. I'm going to just be over here
now the world will know.
The world already knew I'm on camera. They see it all the time.
Oh, true. But they keep coming back to watch you, so you're doing something right.
They're here for the guest.
Yeah. Well, you bring on good guests.
I try. That is the goal. I'm here to elevate my guests. That's why the majority of the clips are guest forward. Like I'm here to help. It's a symbiotic relationship. Like we're here to promote each other, but like my job is to promote you. Yeah,
and I appreciate you.
Aw,
I appreciate.
You appreciate my ugly face. Aw, aw.
Matt, I love you. You're fantastic.
Aw.
Like literally, though, I will say everyone that I like. Oh, I'm going on Matt's show. Everyone's like, I love Matt. He's the best. Like everyone loves you. Really, like you have such a great reputation. Everyone speaks so highly of you.
Well, it's because I don't ask you how you lost your virginity over and over again.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's boring as shit.
I don't fucking care.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not a big milestone.
I mean, unless I lost my virginity in my 40s while I was in porn, something weird like that, nobody cares.
But even if that was the case, that would have been covered so much by this point. I don't care.
You don't care, right?
Right. There are people who specifically that is their niche in the adult industry in the way of media is. I'm not trying to step on their dick. I want my audience to get a feel of who you are as a real person, what you do away from work sometimes. Like, oh my God, you have sex away from camera. Oh my God.
Imagine that.
I know. Like having a healthy sex life away from work. Doing other things besides working.
Yes. Imagine that.
You have interests and hobbies. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You're not just someone that people fap to.
Yeah.
Hopefully they are still, because that's where the money is. But
of course. But we are humans and we do a lot more than what you see.
Ideally. I mean, there are definitely some people I've talked to over the years who are like, no. I'm on my business 24/7. Like, I don't do shit.
That's a terrible life.
Oh, I don't disagree. And I'm pretty sure I called them on it at the moment. Like, like you haven't gone to a concert, dinner, anything? Like, the fuck? Like, if you are making enough to justify this being your 24/7, hire someone so it's not.
Right. Yeah.
Like, every successful person in entertainment has a team around them.
A team. And you got to have a team.
Yeah.
The bigger you get, the more people it takes to create, to run your business.
But that becomes its own difficult situation because it's like, you have to get around people that you trust.
Of course. I mean, this is not just anything they're dealing with. This is very intimate stuff.
Well, and also shares your fucking vision for what your brand is, who you are.
It's got to, and it, again, not changing your vision, just going and helping you make that vision happen.
Right. Like, is willing to not be egotistical about being like, I don't really agree with how you interpreted what I need done.
Right.
Like, I often say as an editor, when I'm doing people's content, it's like, I'm not a director. I want to bring your vision to life. Tell me what you want the scene to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Give me notes. Like, if I send you a revision and you're like, I'm not feeling it this way, fucking tell me.
Yeah.
And that is honestly one of my biggest problems as an editor in this industry is a lot of people don't, it's not even, I don't view it as conflict. I view it as like, I'm being a fucking professional. Tell me what you want. And they will just sometimes pay for the work and not be happy with it instead of
And talk shit about it.
Yeah.
Talk shit about you or whoever. Yes.
Right.
There's no need for that.
Right.
We're
Like,
all adults.
I'm happy. I'm like, and I did a gig for someone recently where it's just like, they weren't happy with like the radius I used on the blur and they wanted a mosaic instead of a Gaussian blur to censor out someone's face. I'm like, oh, that's my bad. I'm like, I'm not going to charge you anymore for this revision. I'll just fix it.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, you put so much fucking time into this already. Like, just, send me the files. I'll fucking do it. I'm like, no. This is my error.
Yep.
I will happily fix this. Like, there's no additional charge on this. I'm not going to charge you more time for it.
Sure.
In all reality, I'd put in a lot of fucking hours and I was rushing through that part. Like, and I owned it. I'm like, just like, yeah, I tried to do this as fast as I humanly could there.
Yep.
It wasn't as clean as it could have been.
And you made it right.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Love that.
But I've had other clients like who still send me work, but like one of them, it was a friend, we were out at a bar and she was just like, yeah, the color on that one was sucks. I'm like, wait a minute, you just paid me. You didn't say shit about the color on that.
Yeah.
The fuck?
There's so much of that.
Yeah.
People are, I guess they're so afraid to speak their mind and, oh, it's not quite what I wanted. What I really wanted was this, or could you change this? And again, it's just a simple conversation. You're not there to hurt somebody's feelings. It's, you need to get it right.
You're paying me for a service.
Absolutely.
So yes, I'm going to provide the service. I'm not some mope fan who is just doing this because I want to be near your content.
Right.
I honestly give less than a fuck about. Sorry, I don't. If I'm editing your content, I do not care about your content. Like I'm not emotionally invested.
Right. Right.
Like I'm not. Oh my god, my vision for how you were penetrated there.
Yeah.
How dare you fuck with my art?
Yeah.
No, and it's like okay, yeah, I'll fix that. Sure. And it's unfortunately the nature of the beast, and it's. Well, I was curious when you were talking earlier about like the directors asking them for notes. Like, I can imagine some of them possibly have notes for you, but are just like, I don't know how to respond to this. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think I've definitely, like caught them off guard, and I don't mean to. I mean, by any means, but if there's, that's just who I am. Like, I really want to know if there's something, and if that means you want to text me, can I text it to you later? Like it's not text it to me. I don't care, but. My goal is to
still a bitch move. That is absolutely a bitch move. Like you're trying to have honest human interaction with someone, and they're being like, "Let me text that to you later when I don't have to see your face."
Yeah.
After you've done the exit interview and said everything was good.
Yeah, there's performers out there who, could do better, and nobody says anything. They might not know there's something they're not doing right, and if nobody's telling them. Then they're going to keep doing the same thing.
For sure. And then eventually they're just going to get booked less and less. Because
exactly. And then they're like, where'd all the work go? Well, you actually weren't a great performer because of this, this, and this. Well, how'd I know? Nobody told me. I couldn't fix it. You can't fix what you don't know.
Right. You may not even know what questions to ask.
Sure.
Yeah. You may not even know. It's just, unfortunately, this is an exploitative business. Like, for the most part, it's not even in most companies' best interest to keep performers around for extended periods of time.
Sure.
It's kind of fucked, but it just is what it is, because if you're around for an extended period of time, you know what's not right. You know what you can object to. You know where the power really lies. And that's not in everyone's best interest.
Sure.
And it's just how it is. And it's fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know how you change that. I'm not looking to change it. I'm a dickhead podcaster.
Right. I mean, in reality, how does anything get changed in the industry? Because that's like pulling teeth. It's like an act of God. If something significant is going to change, it's a big deal.
Well, any major changes in the industry have only come because they've had to.
Right. Yet I think there are lots of things that could make it better. And not like they're not even major things. I just think there's like little things that could help everybody. And yet nobody wants to say anything because they're afraid.
Well,
And again, just little old me or little old so-and-so telling this that doesn't make a big difference. But I think
you got a mic and a camera right now. What would make things better?
there is so much wasted time on set. So much wasted time. And set, there's a lot that goes on set days, like obviously, especially if you have more than 2 performers, you got 3 or 4 or gangbang, whatever it is. But I still think there's a lot of wasted time.
That all depends on what director you're working for. Like,
yes, it's not every director, but I would say a majority, something that took 8 hours, you could have probably got done in 6 hours.
Oh, for sure. I used to PA for Marcos Rivera out in Vegas.
Okay.
And almost, unless something went wrong, almost every day, we were rapping as we were ordering lunch.
That's fantastic.
He is the most efficient director I've ever fucking worked
I love
for.
that. Yeah. Because I look at it as, time is money for everyone.
Oh,
for them, for me, So when you start to see your hourly rate go down, when you're over that time.
Oh, yeah, we're all on day rates.
You're all on day rates.
No one wants to be there any longer than they have to be.
Right. So, I think, how come there isn't a place where we can send in, and who would we send them to? Suggestions and things like, you know what I'm saying? And it's probably a bunch of fucking nonsense that people.
Well,
so it'd probably be crazy to do that, but I just don't know. Well,
the problem is, it's like the way the crews generally work for the major studios is they're just given their allotment of what they need to deliver to, I will never stop calling it Mind Geek. I can AO or whatever the fuck.
Yes, yeah.
They're given their allotment of scenes and like they're budgeted out on like this much money to do it.
Right.
The parent company doesn't give a fuck how much time it takes as long as they deliver what they've ordered.
Right.
Obviously, the director makes more money per hour if they can turn and burn it. Some people aren't that efficient.
Sure.
But as long as they're making their goals of delivering what's been ordered,
right,
the parent company doesn't give a fuck. Why would they care?
I mean, even things as such as, you're on set and you've got one performer who's paying attention to all the things, and then the other person's, off on the side, excuse me, constantly texting the whole time. Why is nobody telling this person, put your fucking phone down? You're at work. Like I would, if I was a director, like there's certain things, there's a time and a place for everything.
I agree, but you're also managing a lot of different personalities.
I know.
And imagine you say, hey.
But a regular 9-to-5 job, if you work at a bank, you can't even have your phone. You have to keep your phone in the car.
Right.
Or locked up.
But we're not on a 9-to-5 at all.
I know, but I'm just saying. So some of the things with the industry is it's just so like laissez-faire, and I think some things could be tightened up. Is all I'm saying.
In an ideal world, sure. I don't know how you accomplish it when there's a mix of personalities and egos too. Because what happens if you've built a whole showcase or a scene around this person?
Sure.
And they're on their fucking phone. You're like, can you put your fucking phone away? And they're just like, I am fucking walking off this set.
Let them, and then tell everybody else, and they'll never get hired again. And
right,
get them out of the industry.
But they won't be out of the industry. And how many thousands of dollars got lost on that day? And
I hear you. But that's one of the problems I have is people being rewarded for bad behavior. And I'm not just strictly talking about being on your cell phone. But there's other bigger issues. But there's performers out there we all know who get hired time and time and time. And they're great performers. That's why they get hired. But they're fucking trouble. There's always an issue. There's always drama. There's always something. But they keep getting the green light. And then it's just bad for everybody else. And so that's something I would like to see that kind of comes to an end. Like, put a stop to it. Like, if you don't want if someone's that bad, I think everyone can make a couple phone calls and they probably could stop that from happening.
Maybe. It depends on how much money's involved, depends on who the...
Well, going forward, not in that particular, but like going forward, okay.
Well, it depends on the tier of the talent and how much money's involved in what they make.
And what they make, sure.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
money.
Definitely it comes down to money.
Yeah.
Like in my own limited little ecosystem here, I have definitely tolerated some things that I would not tolerate from other people because I knew that someone would do big numbers. Now, there's limits to it. There's absolutely limits to it.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that are fucking pretty big names that I will not rebook because of, mostly post-show behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. And that just because I'm a, committee of one.
Yeah.
But if you figure major corporate structures on some of these studios and they're just looking at the numbers, they're basically telling their contractors, fucking figure it out. This person makes us too much money.
Yeah.
And then it's on the director to have to wrangle talent.
Right. It is what it is.
And it happens in mainstream too. How many fucking prima donnas?
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's bad actors in music and movies
Yeah.
and television. And I don't know, because of the nature of the art and the nature of entertainment, how you really fix those problems.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not just here.
I can only imagine how difficult it would be to like try to wrangle someone who's a problem on a multi-million-dollar set.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine like Tom Cruise on a set, like having a complete meltdown?
Yeah.
Like that would be tragic that crew. That would be tragic.
Oh yeah, especially because he's probably executive producer on whatever you're working on. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
We've all heard the horror stories of like, you can't make eye contact with the talent. And that shit bothers me so fucking much.
Wait, in porn they say that?
No, but
like out there.
People
Yeah.
Because occasionally, I don't know how much you've experienced yet, because like, as time goes on, you will watch some mainstream celebrities enter porn's orbit. It just happens.
Okay.
Sometimes the ego on the mainstream people that are like enter porn's orbit is fucking horrible, and it really pisses me off. Like I think it was AVN 15. I had to excuse myself from an after party because like a very famous musician was there in the VIP with us, and being such a douchebag, I just like, I need to leave now.
Okay. Yeah.
I had enough drinks where like,
even that wasn't going to help.
No, I was at a moment of like, I'm about to fight this dude. I'm going to leave now because I'm not some anonymous dude sucker punching this guy. I'm going to lose in a court of law even if I win this fight.
Right.
I'm going to go to jail, and then he's going to sue me into oblivion. I'm going to walk away now.
Yeah. That was probably best.
Yeah, it was this musician who used to hang around just to fuck porn girls. And I had beef with him because he DM slid a friend of mine when her boyfriend was out of town. Like he announced he was out of town to work on another set, and like he immediately DM slid her. Like I already had beef with the dude. I'd met him multiple times, and he was just being a complete douchebag in the VIP. He was just ignoring anyone he was not trying to fuck.
Yeah.
Like we're all in the VIP, like politely said hello, ignored. Another dude said hello, ignored. Just laser focused on the girls he was trying to fuck. It was just like, fuck you, dude. I'm not some fan on the other side of the rope.
Absolutely. Damn.
Yeah, I'm just like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tool up this 100-pound musician. I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
This will not be good for anyone. Needless to say, when his bandmate punched him fairly recently in a very public place, I was like, I'm on that dude's side.
It happened, finally. Yeah. Somebody did it.
Yeah. Yeah, his lead singer, punched him on stage.
Yeah.
It was very publicly. If you could put that two and two together, good on you. But
yeah, I know. That's great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh, I did too.
Oh.
But yeah, you will see it over time. Just like fucking mainstream celebrities, and sometimes, just horrible fucking egos on them.
Yeah.
Because I honestly feel like it rots your brain if you have never been told, if you go too long with no one telling you no.
Yeah.
A large number of people telling you that you're fucking great at all times.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not healthy.
No.
Yeah.
Just being surrounded by yes people, and also like an army of fucking people on social media like, you're the best. You could do nothing wrong.
Please. I do everything wrong. I'm a human. I mean,
I know. You just talked about my face in depth.
I did.
And you're an esthetician. You know these things. You know skin.
I do. Don't let me get too close. I'll go after all the blackheads.
I think I have.
Oh, everyone does. I'll find them with my naked eye. I don't even need a magnifying light. I can find those things so quick.
Why are you biting your lip when you talk about that? That's so weird.
Because it's like this passion of mine, and I just I love.
For the audio audience, she legit bit her lip talking about my blackheads. That was fucking weird.
Oh, it's like one of my favorite things to do is extracting blackheads. It's like gives me so much joy.
So you could have been Dr. Pimple Popper before Dr. Pimple Popper?
I could have been, but I didn't.
Another career misstep.
Exactly.
Though you could do like fucking nude pimple popping on other performers.
Good idea. I love that. Nude pimple popping.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if OF would allow it, but
Right. Well,
as long as there's no blood with it.
Yeah. And usually, if it's just a blackhead, you don't get blood. Yeah.
And if you do, censor it in post. It's not like you're doing it live.
Exactly. So, interesting. Well, I am trying to come up with, and I think I have actually, with my vanilla, side gig for the Instagram and all the things. And I think I am Dr. James, the sex therapist.
What are you helping people with sex therapy?
Either learn how to have sex, because they can't please their wives or their partners, right? So they need help and they don't want to ask them. They want to go and get help from someone. So when they go back to them, they feel more secure.
Okay.
Talking out and role playing maybe fantasies that they have. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How many dudes know they're not actually satisfying their partners?
Well, that's the problem.
Well, yeah.
Because they all think they are. We know that's not true.
Well, obviously.
I mean, I don't know about you, but.
Oh, no, I lay mediocre dick. 100% mediocre dick.
At least you can admit it.
Oh, yeah. Well, because my goal in life is always to leave expectations low, and I can always pleasantly surprise you.
Absolutely. That's how you should do it.
Because if I'm just I'm going to lay this monster fucking... And
that's what I'm like, no, I want nothing to do with you. You're talking like that, I want nothing to do with you. You're going to be a huge disappointment.
Right, exactly. Where I'm just like, you might have a good time. You might. At least I'm cuddable. You cuddle afterwards.
Yeah. You'll keep me warm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. So yeah, so I'm, I don't know. So I'm kind of, that's going to be coming in 2025. Because as we talked about earlier, the marketing, you have to have kind of the vanilla side to feed into the other side. And that is the way that things are going these days. So it's a lot.
And it's an uphill battle, especially on this side of things, because if your account's attached to any sort of sex work account, the major platforms will fucking bury you. Mm-hmm. They will shadow ban you.
Yeah.
Have you made it over to Blue Sky yet?
I have. Yes. I haven't spent a ton of time there because I need to spend some time and figure out how it all works. But I've made some posts and stuff, and the feedback that I've heard from other people who've been using it, they really, really are enjoying it.
I'm very happy over there.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't have as much following as I do on other social media platforms.
Of course, but it just started too.
It's actually over a year old.
Oh, yours is over a year old.
I've been on Blue Sky since June of 23.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you were real early.
Yeah, I got on when you had to have a code still.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I wasn't using it much because no one was really fucking over there.
Right. And now all of a sudden, everyone's going over there. Yeah, I'm not going to delete my Twitter. People are like, I'm going to delete my Twitter and fuck this. I'm not deleting my Twitter. But no one knows what's going to happen with Twitter. So I'm glad that we have this.
Well, it's not even that. A lot of people jump ship because they changed the AI policy to officially we're scraping anything you post.
Yes.
Not like they weren't beforehand. Come on, don't kid yourselves.
Yeah.
They're public posts. They were scraping. The difference in the policy for AI means, oh, hey, if you're set to private, we can scrape you now. If you're a public facing, your data was already being scraped for AI.
Right.
I jumped to Blue Sky literally because, one, the timeline's in fucking sequential order.
Mm-hmm.
I miss it so much.
Yeah.
And two, links aren't suppressed.
Right.
And one of the other things I recently discovered that I love about it is the fact that if your people enable the YouTube player, you can watch YouTube videos in app. You don't have to go to YouTube. You can just press play like it's an embedded video.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
For me, that's fucking huge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's just here's the video episode on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking watch it in timeline.
Yep.
You don't have to go to another site. You don't have to log in. You just press fucking play. Boom, I get views.
Yes.
And they're not doing link suppression, which is the biggest thing for the adult industry. Yes, Twitter allows porn.
But whenever you put a link on there,
Yeah.
It's like no.
Dead.
And
the porn shadow ban half the time. Blue Sky's the way Blue Sky's handling it, where you have to opt in to see adult content, is the right way to do it.
Absolutely. I saw that, and I went through and I went and did my settings, and I was like, this is fantastic. Like, you don't have to see this stuff.
Right.
And that's how it should be. You're 100% right.
Yeah. And the fact that they're like, we're dedicated to not suppressing links. We want to be the lobby to the internet. It's like, perfect.
Yep.
Some major news outlets are already like, oh, we're getting more traffic with less followers from Blue Sky than we ever have from Threads and currently from Twitter.
Wow. That's amazing.
So for us in the industry, we're going to take a temporary hit to viewership, to interactions by jumping to a new platform and building a new base. But we have to make that jump if we want the fans to come over there. If the shit's still readily available on Twitter, why are they going to go make a sign up for a new account?
Absolutely.
But once they make the jump, the ability to convert them to paying customers because links aren't suppressed is such a larger chunk of the pie.
Yeah, and that's where it will pay off.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to spend more time on Blue Sky.
Yeah. And to my audience, I am financially invested in people jumping over to Blue Sky.
Oh.
Well, because I'm one of the majority stakeholder. I'm the founder and majority stakeholder in B Sky Verified.
Oh, look at you.
We started the first third-party verification service on Blue Sky because they don't do traditional check marks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the ad portion of the show, folks. And the thing about it is their internal verification system, or the traditional verification system, is you using a domain you own to verify yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I could go out and register, your name right now as a domain.com for $6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does anyone actually fucking know that that's actually you? That's just someone who spent $6.
Right.
And especially with some top tier performers, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars in catfishing.
Right.
So it's well worth a scammer to spend 6, 20, whatever amount of money to set up that domain, to self-verify, to try to convince your fans that they're you.
Yeah.
It's big money. Where with us, like, we get on a Zoom call with everyone we verify.
Mm.
Like,
oh,
hey, that's Addison. Cool.
Okay.
And you can't have a .bskyverified.social handle unless we actually put you in our system.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I like it.
And
there's a lot of catfishing going on out there.
There is, especially on Blue Sky right now. And all the credit in the world to the Blue Sky moderation team. They are nuking catfish accounts very quickly.
That's amazing.
Even with some accounts that aren't nuked immediately, they have labels on them that say impersonator.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay.
I got followed by a Natasha Nice impersonator account recently. Liked a post that I responded to the real Natasha on. I'm like, huh, that's weird. That was 6 days later. I'm like, oh, because that's a fake account.
Fake account.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Elon needs to step up his game. I don't think he will, but
no,
I'm just saying.
There's no financial motivation to it. This point.
Exactly. So why do anything?
I haven't been this excited about social media, because I've been an early adopter on almost every other alternate platform for years. Like I was on Hive for half a second. And there's very few I've been as excited about besides Blue Sky. Like I was stoked about Blue Sky over a year ago, and as I said, I just wasn't using it regularly because there were so few people over there. It's just like, well, I have everyone who was following me on Blue Sky for the most part. When I started the account, I could literally text.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, hi guys, cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Do you want my podcast spam? Because that's what I got for you. So hopefully the industry continues to make the exodus.
Yeah.
And the fans will fall, but people will take a hit.
Yeah.
Short term.
Of course. That totally makes sense. And I'm sick of Meta. They're the worst.
They are.
I literally had a photo get tagged on Instagram or taken down or removed because I had I was clothed, like bra and underwear, nothing, no nipples, no nothing, had a strap down. And they said they took it down because I was promoting nudity. There was nothing nude on me. I was covered.
Am I getting in trouble because you're wearing a tube top right now?
I hope not.
getting me in trouble.
But then you got other girls who straight up have their underwear shoved up their vaginas and you could literally, their vagina lips. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, the hypocrisy amount of Tommy Lee had a full-on dick pic, like erect penis on his fucking account at one point. And all they did was delete the picture and like, I think maybe a 24-hour ban.
Yeah. Come on.
Like, not that anyone wants to see my dick on Instagram, but if I were to, post my erect penis on Instagram, my account would be gone.
Gone. No getting that back.
Yeah.
Done. So what do you think about all these people who are hiring these third-party people to get their Instagram pages back, because of, and I will tell you, I did it one time. And it wasn't because I lost my page. I wanted my Instagram live back. They took it from me for like almost a year. And then there was photos on there, but I couldn't delete the photos. They just had everything blocked off that I couldn't do anything with it.
How much did that cost you?
$350, but I'll never do it again.
That's exceedingly low.
So that's what this guy charged me, and he works with a lot of people, but I think once they get you, they get you.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard stories about other performers that someone hacks them, they lose their account, whatever, charge $5,000 to get their account back,
heard.
and then like it becomes a vicious cycle. Because the problem is, all these people, for the most part, are people working at Meta.
Yes, that's what I keep hearing.
And
so that's how they can solve all the problems.
Right.
But then they can also shut your account back down or do something to your account where you need them again, and you got to pay them.
Exactly. It's a hustle.
Yeah. And how is that? Again, how is that? That shouldn't be legal.
It's not. It's absolutely not legal.
But but the government isn't doing anything about it, and it's happening. And I'm not saying just to us. I mean, it's happening all over.
I don't know what they would do about it. Like, you would have to get the FBI cybercrimes involved.
Really?
Well, who else are you going to report that
Well,
to?
no, but I'm just saying, Meta as general, the people shouldn't be allowed to do that.
No, Meta does fire people. Like, I know a guy who was doing that for performers.
And he got fired?
He got fired over.
Okay, so...
I mean, he wasn't, he was just hooking performers up.
But if they find out about it, they will get rid of it.
Oh, yeah. But he was also US-based. So, I don't know how stringent it is if you're, in one of their call centers in Kenya or India or some shit like that.
Exactly.
But, yeah, he was in New York, and, because he's a dude I know.
Okay.
And, yeah, I referred a couple of people to him, and, one of my friends reached out, and they're like, oh, yeah, he said he got fired from Meta for doing this, so.
Damn.
I just don't know if he's sloppy or because he's in the U.S. office.
Yep. They're looking at it.
Right. Versus, some dude in Kenya.
Who cares?
Right.
Yeah, that's different.
It's such a big machine, and it's such a big international machine, unless they're really looking to crack down on it, how are they going to catch it?
Sure.
Yeah, they entrust these people to have oversight.
And the government seems to want to, they're always questioning them about different things going on. And, well, that was my thought process.
Yeah, literally, if someone was shaking you down like that, I'm pretty sure you'd have to get the FBI cybercrimes division involved.
That makes sense, yeah.
And how much is the FBI going to really look into Meta?
Right.
And the dude who bought it for it, do you have a real name at all?
No.
Right.
No.
You have probably some burner email address.
Right. Yeah.
So you're going to hand some FBI investigator well, here's the breadcrumbs of, in your case, a petty criminal, $350.
Yeah.
Yes, it adds up, especially if you're in a third world country and he's doing it for hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Right.
But is the FBI really going to expend manpower till they have some sort of evidence that this dude's taking down tens of thousands?
Sure.
Because
it's not like they, have an easy way to put in a complaint.
Right. Well,
that they would even look at.
Right, but and it's also oh, this dude scammed you for $350. To have an investigator start on this is going to cost the government more money.
But if they got 10,000 of those,
right,
and the numbers were all over the place from 350 to 5,000 to 10, whatever, then that might be worth looking at. But again, it is what it is.
No, for sure.
But it's frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. Well, especially when some people have been shook down for $5,000, $10,000 on these.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It's just not worth it for me.
No,
I'll start a new page. Just
for sure. But there are some performers that have million plus followers,
and I get that. That's going to be heartbreaking. I mean, literally devastating. I get it.
If you lost a million plus follower page, it's just
yeah.
What's your marketing outreach worth? I know when I do collab posts with someone, my guests that have those kind of numbers, my phone feels like it gains physical weight from the notifications. It's just like, fuck. I literally cannot tell when people start following me and stuff because it's just, it's unreal. And I've asked people, I'm just like, how do you deal with this on the daily? Because I will get the wave of it when we do the first collab post for like a week, 2 weeks, and then it will die down.
And then it will pick back up again.
Yeah, and sometimes the clips go reviral. Like, I have a clip that went from 800,000 to like 1.5 million views in the last week. And,
oh, wow.
And it's all angry red pill dudes. Yeah, had a guest talk about that she enjoys facials. Like, and apparently that's upsetting to men.
Why? Why?
Because that shouldn't be discussed in public.
Oh my God. Really?
So grow up. Go to another fucking post.
Yes, exactly.
People shouldn't have to. If people are not harming anyone else, they should not have to censor themselves because of your potential expectations.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I'm sure they'll argue that, like, oh, we are doing societal harm. I'm sure that's our argument.
Of course. Yes. We're promoting sex. That's bad.
Oh, yeah. Not how we all got here.
Right. Oh my God. Wild.
All your parents raw dogged. All of them. Your dad came inside your mother.
Oh my God. I don't want to think about it.
See? See? You don't even want to talk about sex.
It's always weird to think about your parents. So I don't.
You just blew a fat nut in there and now
Oh
here you are.
my God. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. No, I'm good. Weird.
It is. Seeing as I've never had sex for procreation purposes,
Yeah.
it just seems weird. Like, you ever seen The Big Lebowski?
Yeah.
Like the scene where she's just like, where after they have sex and she's, doing, Julianne Moore's like rocking before. He's like, oh yeah, this is to increase fertility. He's
Fertility.
like, what?
Yes.
That would be my reaction. Like, what?
Yeah. That's not what I came here for.
Yeah. Yeah. The second anyone was just like, oh, I'm doing this to increase fertility, I'd be like, the fuck is happening here?
That's wild.
You ever thought about having kids?
I wanted children, but I was never willing to just have them, and so it never happened. And I'm okay with that. I wanted to have a partner and all the things, or if I was able to do it on my own, I wanted to be able to be financially stable to do that, and just didn't come up. And now I'm 45 and this girl's getting an ablation. So no more period. Shit's going away. And those days are over.
All the cream pies you want, though.
All the cream pies I want. Yes, I'll take them happily.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Well, and that's the right thing to do. That's the responsible thing to do.
Yes.
Too many people are just like, I want a mini-me. Like,
yeah. And that guy's going to give it to me. He doesn't know it yet. No, that sounds like a fucking terrible idea.
It's a horrible idea. Also, are you a mini version of your parents?
Right.
Think about this objectively. Are you mini your parents?
Well, I just want to keep him, though. I just want him to love me. So if I have a baby, he has to be with me. And then it's nothing but a fight for 18 years.
And child support payments that he resents you on.
Yes. And your life is fucking miserable, actually. Not because of the baby, but because of the situation that you caused.
And I'm sure the kid's life is miserable to a degree.
The kid's life, yes. But it's not because of the kid itself. It's because you made a poor decision on how you wanted to have a family. Yeah, no, I'm not down for that.
No, and more people should not be down for that.
Yeah.
More people really should think through the consequences. All they just think about is like, my biological clock, and I should have a mini-me.
Yeah, no.
No.
Not a good idea. Not everyone should.
A lot of people shouldn't.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. Honestly, the majority of people shouldn't.
I agree.
I know everyone's just like, it's an epidemic of people being addicted to porn and not, getting into relationships. Like, cool. Those people probably shouldn't breed.
Yeah.
Those people should just spend their money on porn.
Yeah.
Are they happy?
Yeah.
If they're unhappy, are they only unhappy because society says they're unhappy? If you weren't giving them shit as losers, would they be perfectly content in their masturbatory fantasy and going to work every day?
Yeah.
if they would be, fucking let them be happy.
And be happy. Yeah. I always love it. You know, when people try to make a woman feel bad for not having a family, or, oh, you didn't have kids, or, you know, I get it all the time. You're so beautiful. I can't believe you don't have a boyfriend. You've never been married. Like, and they'll literally be like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, there's nothing fucking wrong with me. I make my decisions.
You tell a dude he has an ugly face, that's something wrong with you. Just right to his face. You're just like,
that's just how I roll, man. I'm honest.
Yeah, maybe just sugarcoat things a little bit.
I'm not that good at sugarcoating. That's why, you know, you either like me or you don't, because I will say my mouth has gotten me in trouble before, you know, because
oh my God, you have the mouth of a sailor?
Imagine that.
Right?
But yeah, you know, sometimes I speak before I think, and that's something, you know, I have to work on, because sometimes you have to be a little more politically correct and just smile and shake your head, you know, instead of saying anything, just smile and shake your head and move on. And nobody has to know what you're thinking, because it's not a good decision to say what you're going to say.
Yeah, I struggle with that sometimes too.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's, you know, I've gotten in some arguments with friends over that. I've hurt feelings, not intentionally, you know.
Intent's important.
Yeah, intent. Yeah, absolutely. So something I'm working on.
Oh, good. Look at you, just still improving and changing as a human being for the better.
Matt, I want to apologize to you for telling you had an ugly face.
I don't believe you.
Oh, God.
I do not believe you.
Okay, fine.
You're perfectly sober. That was just like an honest intention. And now you're trying to spare my feelings on the internet, which is just strongly affecting my face at the moment. Just bringing more attention to the face. Like, I see how it is. I see how it is.
Sorry. Not really.
See? You couldn't even keep that lie going for 30 seconds. Couldn't even keep it going for 30 seconds.
I'm not a good liar. Like,
that's why you're single. Because you're not a good liar.
That true. That too. I'm not a good liar. Yeah. I just
gotta learn to lie a little. Just a little.
I need to get better at that.
What do you like post hookup? You're like, that was lame.
So one time.
Oh no.
You want to hear the story?
Oh, of course, of course.
I was seeing this guy. This was years ago. And it was like Valentine's Day. So we'd been seeing each other a little bit. Lovely, lovely guy. Like lovely. The nicest. But he's like 5'4", maybe 5'5", and I'm 5'4". So he's on the shorter end. So my first thought is, he's not packing. And that isn't everything, but I mean,
that's wrong. So many of those little dudes have just huge.
Right. So my first thought is he's not packing, and whatever he's packing probably isn't going to be anything that I'm going to like. You know, I'm thinking like micro penis. Like that's what I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking that, but that's what I was thinking.
So judgmental. So
judgmental. And like really, I mean, he took me to a beautiful dinner. He got me, that's back when you had the iPods. He got me an iPod and like a dozen roses. I mean, he was lovely. I mean, he spoiled me. He was so kind. But that was also like, I knew that was the night that we were going to have sex for the first time, because like that's what everything kind of leading up to. So I was nervous because I'm like, going to be good. This isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good. Like, and literally he went down on me and I was like, oh my God, this sucks. And then we had sex and wasn't good. And at one point I was like, I just want to go, just stop. I just want to go to bed. He's like, but I want to make you come. And I go, you're not going to fucking make me come. So just stop. I want to go to bed. And I rolled over and went to sleep at his house. I didn't even leave. I stayed at his house the whole night and slept in his bed. He got up and went and slept on the couch in the living room. And he didn't sleep all night. I mortified that poor man.
On his end, first and foremost,
he was not packing. It wasn't micro, but it was pretty close.
Sure. Is what it is. Like that's beyond his control.
Yes.
Genetics fucked him there.
Yep.
But how he emotionally responded to it is completely within his control.
Yes.
One, he should have went and rubbed one out. Like,
and maybe he did, just didn't tell me.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, if he didn't get off with you,
he
should have just gone and taken care of himself.
Sure.
Two, there's no way you're forcing me out of my own fucking bed.
True. Yeah, he should have slept in his bed.
Or told you to get the fuck out.
Yeah, he also could have done that, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I would have gotten up and left.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Also, pro tip, this is why you go to their place, fellas. You could just leave. Plus,
Yeah.
their beds are generally better than ours. So
Yeah, I was pretty mean to him, and he is a nice guy. He was a nice guy. Just wasn't.
well, as I have said multiple times, nice is a baseline. Nice is not a qualifier to be a fucking good partner.
Sure.
It's not even a good qualifier to be someone to date. Of course, you're going to be nice to the person you want to fuck,
Yeah.
that you want to be involved
No,
with.
but I knew him before that. So like,
But still, nice is a baseline. It is
Sure.
not exceptional. Anyone can be fucking nice.
true.
Some of the most horrible human beings I know can be nice when they need to be.
Of course, we all can.
All these dudes who like are upset are like, well, I can't get a girl because I'm nice. But I'm nice. Like, develop a fucking talent. Offer something.
Do you have a job? Do you have a car? Let's start. Well,
Not even on the material things. Are you entertaining? Are you fun to be around?
sure.
Are you going to provide adventures? Do you have anything to fucking offer?
Yeah. Do you like to cook?
Right.
Anything?
Yes, you could try to improve your lot in life. You may not be able to provide the material, but is every time she goes out with you, is she laughing and just having a good fucking time?
Mhm.
Is she stressed in any way, shape, or form while she's out with you?
Yes, because I was worried about having sex with him.
Right. Well, that's your own fucking hangups. He can't control that one.
I know.
But he can do everything in his power to alleviate that shit. If he's distracting you with his bullshit and what else he is doing, being entertaining, maybe you wouldn't have been so fucking, stuck on that. But no, he decided he wanted to just be nice and try to shower you with fucking gifts. And
yeah.
here's these material things that
Right.
don't really fucking matter. Do you still have that iPod? No.
No.
Flowers are long dead. But if he had given you a ridiculous experience on the positive, you'd still be talking about it.
Sure. Of course.
I have an ex-girlfriend. The first time we hooked up, in the throes of passion, I bit her on her ankle was up there. I just fucking bit her. She still fucking talks about it to this day, like 15 years later.
That's amazing.
That girl will go to her grave remembering that hookup.
Yep.
That didn't cost any money. That was just something in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
It was something memorable.
Yeah.
It wasn't a nice move.
But she'll remember it.
Exactly. Just be memorable. That's the key. Be fucking memorable. Have something else to offer. No, nice doesn't just cut it.
I like the way you think. But I've never heard anybody put it to me the way that you are, and that makes a lot of sense.
It's a sad excuse. It's some self-pity bullshit when you're like, I'm a nice guy. I can't like. Well, what are you doing to improve your lot in life, dog? Or what are you doing?
Yeah.
Have you learned to create anything? Have you had new experiences? Have you had unique experiences?
Mm-hmm.
What fucking makes you interesting? Because at the end of the day, no matter who you are, everyone has options.
Yes.
So why are they going to choose you?
Right.
Much like what we do for a living, how are you going to stand out from the fucking noise?
Yeah.
In a world of options where they're readily presented to you, that if you picked up your phone right now and swiped right, I'm sure within a few swipes you would have a match.
Sure.
Well, what are you going to do as the dude in the room to take you away from wanting to do that?
Mm.
That's your responsibility.
I hope the men are listening.
Well, from my demographics, it is.
Good.
My demographic is overwhelmingly male.
Yes. Oh, yeah. What do you? I love that. That was good, Matt. That's very inspirational. I really am feeling that. That's good stuff.
I'm glad there's a table between us. I don't want to know what happens when you get inspired. I feel like there might be violence.
No violence. But
Just I punch people in the face only when they come in my mouth.
Well, that's not going to happen, so don't worry about that.
I was not worried about that. I was not worried about that in any way, shape, or form.
God.
That was not a concern or anything. I'm not actually worried about violence from you. I have a witness. So
Okay, good. Yeah. But in real life, I am traumatized and scared of a micropenis, like a real micropenis.
Why?
So I was at a swingers event. This was before I was in the industry, right? So, and it was at a meet and greet. So there's no sex stuff going on. It was just whatever. This hot guy, great conversation, whatever, all the things. Great dancer. We're having a good time. He's like, hey, you want to go out to my car? I was like, hell yeah, I'll give you a BJ. yeah, I was excited, you know? And he pulls down his pants and it's like, I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. Like, I literally didn't know what to do with it because even trying to like jack him off, like it was too small. Like it didn't work. And then I tried to put it in my mouth and it just went, it just like rolled around in my mouth because it doesn't fill anything up. So I couldn't even like suck it right. I was like making these, it was weird. And then I was trying to jerk him off again. And finally he's just like, just let me do it. And he did it and he jerked it. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get out of this car. I just want to go home. This is so traumatizing. And to this day, I'm scared to death. Like that's my biggest fear, like meeting someone and like they literally have a micro dick again. I can't do it. I'm so afraid.
What if like you actually were dating someone and like they press all the buttons besides the micro peeing?
You know, it's a good question because there is more to a relationship than just that.
Right.
But that is a big part of a relationship is
For
sexual intimacy. And yes, you can be intimate without necessary,
well, no, sexual compatibility.
Well, the compatibility, yes. So I don't know if we would actually ever date. We would date for a little while until we got to the sex part. And then once that came apart, I don't know if I can.
How many dates does it take you to fuck?
It depends on the person. It just
on average.
3.
Really? How old school?
I've got some old school traits. I'm not, yes, I've done one night stands. I'm not like perfect, but
no.
But if it's someone that
no, one night stands are perfect.
No, but if it's someone that I'm truly like think that I like, I want to like not just give it all up at once.
But there's nothing to give up.
The sex?
I mean, that's not giving up. In theory, you should be satisfied too. So it's not like you're giving up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But sometimes it's 2 or 3 dates. And then I think I would just be totally turned off. I don't know how I would deal with that. I should be more mature about it.
No. I feel like you probably have to have more experiences with them.
Sure. I don't, but that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, how else are you going to get over your fear? Like if you're afraid of water, the only way to get over it is to get in the pool.
So then maybe I need to ask all my fans, if you have a micro penis, send me pictures of it so that way I can get used to seeing it and learn to like not be afraid of it anymore. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do with it.
Well, I don't think pictures are going to help you figure out what to do with this.
Well, no, but like, let me just start by like looking, like seeing it, like just get the visual out of the way.
Is that traumatized even the visual?
Scarred for life. Scarred for life. And I'm not saying a man has to be like 12 inches. That's also not like, for me, that's not like something I want in my everyday life. I just want something comfortable and
well, yeah, boyfriend dick, as the old saying goes.
And it's the perfect dick. Like boyfriend dick is the perfect dick, I think.
Yeah. Except for the majority of people agree with you. I do have some friends that are like, if my cervix isn't bruised, I didn't fuck.
Oh, yeah. I don't want that on the daily. Like I don't want that in my everyday life.
Well, I'm aware. As someone with an average penis, I understand where I fit in. Like,
yeah.
But I definitely have some friends that were like, they're size squeezing, and that is their jam.
That's their jam. Then that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Like, all right, girl. Enjoy what you enjoy.
Absolutely. So the micro dick just it scares me.
Well, I feel like you should get over it because
I'm going to go to therapy.
Well,
I think I need to go to therapy.
Everyone needs therapy.
Well, no, yes, but I think I am going to go and talk to my therapist about the micro dick situation.
Oh, I was about to say, you're going to ask your therapist about their dick size?
I'm going to talk to her about how scarred I am from the micro dick.
It's wild that one micro dick scarred you this much.
I had never seen anything like it in my life. And it just seemed like a fish out of water. And it was floppy and didn't really.
Maybe he just never really got hard.
I don't know.
Maybe
he didn't, but he came. I don't fucking know. You can come and not be hard, right?
I mean,
like semi-hard?
Yeah, semi-hard.
Yeah, so even a semi-hard wasn't very hard. I don't know. Fucking weird.
I don't know. I do not understand.
Like, I don't know if I let that thing, penis, that micro penis go in my vagina, I don't know how this person has 2 kids. How did he have 2 kids? Like, how does your penis go in a vagina? Like, it's like this long. It can't even go in there.
Maybe his swimmers are mighty.
That's the only thing I can think of.
They're fucking, Phelps of fucking swimmers.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be it.
Gold medalists.
Yeah.
Like, we're going for the egg. Going for the fucking egg. Breaststroking through the canal. We're gonna make it. We're gonna.
2 of them did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not my jam.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you're not into it, you're not into it. Yeah, sexual compatibility is, wildly important. Like, the idea of being with someone who's just like doesn't have like same level of sex drive, just not ideal.
I mean, I struggle with that too, because when I was, when I first came in, I was dating the one guy who, again, he's like my best friend these days. He takes Viagra, which is fine. He's in his early 50s, not a big deal, but he just couldn't keep up. I mean, and he'd admittedly so, he's like, I'm done. He's like, you've been doing this for 2 hours. I'm like, 3 hours. I was like, yeah, I like to come like 5 or 6 times sometimes. I get wild.
Well, bring toys.
I do. And he would definitely help me with the toy thing. That was always a thing. And then I typically, like, when I like am in the thing, it's typically 3 times. Pretty close together, little break, but it's typically 3 times to like get me to get off you. And of course you have the occasional like quickie here and whatever. That's fine. But yeah, and then you get the people who are like quiet. They don't talk during sex. They don't say anything. It's like,
my parents might hear us.
Your parents don't live in your house.
How do you know?
Are you hiding them in the closet?
No, my parents come out of the closet.
No. But like the silence, like I'm a chatter, not like conversation, but like it feels good, or like I like my partner to know what I like and how I'm feeling, and then I like the same from them, and then they don't respond. I'm like, are you fucking alive? Say something. Hello.
Well, I agree. I am not down with someone who doesn't communicate, and like, especially someone who's a dead fish. Like, if you just starfish on me, I'm like, cool. We're probably gonna be one and done.
Yeah. Well, they don't. I mean, the guys don't starfish on me. They just sometimes don't say anything, and I'm like, did you like that? Yeah, it was good. Well, what was good about it? Like, tell me. I want to know, because everyone's different.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I want the feedback, and some guys are just so like, they can't do it.
Well, and I'm generally like, for me, asking for some consent during the moment, like, do you like this? Do you want to be choked? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, it's important.
Yeah. So I think I definitely know there's been a few men in my life that I have scared, not in a bad way, but like a little shock value, because they were like, oh fuck, I didn't know, like, she gets crazy, like when she fucks, like she's like high energy, high everything, and it takes a little bit to bring her down, like, and I was never experienced this before. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with her. And I'm like, just keep fucking me.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Don't pull out.
Right.
Seems like a really simple plan. Don't pull out.
Yeah. So, and then the waterworks, it's, I fled everything. So they
yeah, you're definitely someone to take back to your place.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not ruining my sheets they're Egyptian cotton.
Listen, just put that water pad down on the bed. You'll be all set.
Puppy pads are for someone else's place.
Yeah. I soak the whole bed.
Yeah.
And I will pretty much drown you if you let me ride your face.
It's an ugly face. Sorry. No riders.
I mean, I don't have to look at your face if I'm riding it. Sorry. Sorry. That was mean. That was really mean. Matt, I really do love you. I swear. Just
don't want to look at me. Like, love you. Don't want to do.
Yeah.
Do you normally wear contacts or glasses? Like, am I blurry right now?
No.
Like, oh, I just had to leave my glasses at the hotel, so I don't have to actually see them. That fucking face for radio.
Oh my god. Oh, so yeah. So,
good times, but I hate to do it. We've been doing this for over 2 hours.
What?
Yeah.
2 hours?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's past my bedtime. What time is it?
9:30.
Oh God, I need to go to bed. I'm old.
Not here.
No, I'm going to go home
Good.
to where I'm staying. I'm going to get off the air and I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I'm telling you to leave.
Fine, I'll fucking leave.
Good.
See you later.
Before you do that,
Okay.
tell the people where they can find you on the things.
Where they can find me on the things?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Addyson_James. Addison is spelled ADDYSON. You can also find me on OnlyFans at Addyson James. And you can also follow me on my website, AddisonJames.com.
Hell yeah, Addison. Glad we finally got this together.
I know I was a bit rude today, but I'm hoping over time and with me showing you that I'm going to be a nicer human that you'll have me back one day.
Maybe I'll see if you actually repent.
Okay.
If you actually mean it, or this was just performative for the cameras or not.
Okay.
Until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.
Woo!